for Vineland were Darren Ford, Matt Moore, Alex Castillo, and Mark Thompson.
Charlie, twice this season so far, the opening kickoff has been fantastic for Vineland football because in 2 of those occasions, Darren Ford has taken the kickoff all the way in for pay dirt to open up the football game. So that is always a potential when you're talking about Vineland in 2003.
Well, one of the other residual effects of this win streak that Vineland's put together and the quality of their play is not only the betterment of the feeling in our school, but suddenly there are scouts that are very much interested in certain players on this team. And it would behoove any college coach to take a look at some of the players that we have, not only the Mark Thompsons and the Jeffrey Morgans, but Darren Ford is an exceptional runner. Not only is he quick, but he's got that sixth sense that you just don't teach in a runner, and the way that he can deke and fake out runners. And you're absolutely right. Anytime he touches the ball, he's a threat to go all the way.
David Bile, number 23, is a sophomore kicker for Ocean City. The ball is teed up on the Ocean City 40-yard line. Back deep for the Fighting Clan. Darren Ford, number 2, and number 3 is Jamar Bird. Absegami last week kept the ball as much as they could away from Ford and Bird because of the apparent threat.
Jamar Bird, part of that tremendous trilogy in the backfield that Vineland possesses of Walt Brown, Jamar Bird, and Darren Ford.
We're just waiting for the whistle from the officials to begin the game, and there it is, and we'll have the kickoff in a second. It goes to Bird. He picks it up at the 10-yard line. And finally is tripped up at the 35. So Vineland starts from their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the first time this afternoon. Little late start, 2 o'clock start today here at Ocean City, primarily due, I believe, to the PSAT exam given this morning around the area.
Keith, I was talking to Coach Belfie during the week, and I asked him what kind of defense he would label this Ocean City as running, and he said it was kind of a junk defense. Sometimes 6-1, other times a 4-3, and we'll try to describe it as best we can for you.
Joe Bassetti anchors the line at center out of the shotgun formation. Alex Castillo on a quick screen over to the far side to Marcus Lee, and that doesn't go anywhere.
The only blocking attempted to be provided was by Darren Ford. He was a little late, so Marcus Lee was kind of hung out there by himself.
As I said, Joe Bassetti, number 55, is the center, 6'2", 230-pound junior. The 2 guards, Aaron Silver, number 51. He's a senior at 6'1", 185, and Jaquan Brown, number 61, is a senior at 5'9", 210 pounds.
Marcus Lee is being double-teamed at the present time.
The handoff goes to Bird. Bird cuts up inside, fighting for yardage, but picks up a couple along the way. Still far short of the first down, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 7 to go for the Fighting Clan of Vineland. We're just underway here at Cary Field in Ocean City. Vineland 0 and Ocean City likewise with no points on the board yet.
I think what Ocean City is doing defensively or attempting to do is to try to pinch the ends and make sure that everything is driven inside. They would not want any of the Vineland runners to get outside. So we'll watch number 66 and the left end also to see if they continue that.
Marcus Lee split to the far side. The signals are being called and looks like a defensive encroachment against Ocean City. The 2 tackles for Vineland, number 67, Steve Medio, 6 foot, 250-pound senior, and number 50, Mark Thompson, a senior at 6'3", 225 pounds. Ross Romano is the tight end, number 83, a 6'5", 230-pound junior. Marcus Lee is the split end, 6'2", 175-pound senior. Alex Castillo, the quarterback, a senior at 5'10", 165 pounds, and wearing number 5. Fake handoff, play action pass to the opposite side. Castillo tucks it under, gets the first down as he's knocked out of bounds, looks like at the 49-yard line of the Fighting Clan.
I think what Alex was looking for was Ross Romano on a short pattern doing a little slant. Coach Belfie mentioned how well he's been blocking from his tight end position and wanted to get him involved a little bit more in the offense. Marcus Lee was on a deep pattern, but being double-teamed, he was pretty well covered. Marcus comes out to the left-hand side now, and he's got single coverage. Oh, here comes the double coverage.
And off up the middle to Walt Brown, and Walt Brown does what he's been doing lately, is sneaking right through the middle there, almost undetected as he picks up another first down for the Fighting Clan as the nose of the football is right at the Ocean City 40.
Been pretty much his responsibility all season is to run between the tackles, And with a couple of nice key blocks from the left side there from Jaquan Brown and Mark Thompson, picks up a nice first down.
Charlie, Ocean City has 8 of their players, 8 of these defensive players who also play on the offensive side of the ball. Alex Castillo fires the football, and he finds Marcus Lee right at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, there's one of the big improvements in their offense. Instead of Marcus continuing to try to go in a deep pattern, nice slant, nicely timed pass to Marcus Lee for about 9 yards.
Second down and inches coming up for the Fighting Clan as they're trying to keep this series alive. Marcus Lee split to the far side. Ross Romano, the tight end, on the near side. In motion goes Darren Ford. The handoff goes to Walt Brown, and Brown is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be close to that first down, but I don't know. We'll have to see how the spot goes, Charlie.
Well, that time they tried the right side with right guard Aaron Silver and Steve Medio providing the blocking, but it was a linebacker that shot the gap there. I didn't get his number, Keith, but I think he's got stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
In fact, the officials are not even sure. They're going to take a measurement here, as there's no doubt about it that the ball was moved forward, but whether it was far enough for the first down is the question that will be decided by stretching out the chains.
Well, Coach Belfie has shown some surprises, and if you go back to the old Green Bay teams where Bart Starr would throw that long pass on 3rd and short, maybe Ed's got something up his sleeve, or maybe he'll stay conservative right now, but we've seen some reverses and some long passes in situations like this from Ed, so let's see what he comes up with.
Well, it's 3rd down and a hair to go.
One of the nice additions to this team this year is Steve Bond from the soccer team, who is able to kick a 40-yard field goal, so if they get in range, they've got that weapon also.
Spencer Jackson checked into the ball game for the Fighting Clan. He split to the near side. In motion goes Darren Ford. Fake handoff to Ford, handoff to Walt Brown, and Walt Brown is going to be denied that first down. And he only had centimeters to go, but it's not going to be it. So that'll bring up a 4th and short.
Nice play by number 51, the defensive tackle, Mark Drashushak. Just a junior at 5'11" and 220.
The field is in excellent condition here, Charlie. I was walking on it prior to the game. It's a low cut, which favors Vineland's speed. And apparently they had quite a downpour last night around 11 o'clock, I was told, and you can't even tell. Great drainage. Quarterback sneak gets the first down as Alex Castillo just surged forward right over his center, Joe Bassetti. So that works out.
Number 51 again. Yeah, number 51, he seems to be a key figure on their defense, makes that tackle again. But Jaquan Brown and Joe Bassetti just gave enough of a hole for quarterback Alex Castillo to slip through, and another first down for Vineland.
Vineland coach Ed Belfie is in his 3rd season and brings a mark of 9 wins and 16 losses into today's game. 1st and 10 for the Fighting Clan. The handoff goes to Walt Brown. Walt Brown had it an opening, then cut it back and was shut down immediately by that Ocean City defense.
Trying to follow the block of Darren Ford, but not much there. Between the tackles, Ocean City looks a little tough, Keith.
They look really tough, as they've been known over the years for giving Vineland a very, very tough competitive game, no matter what year it is, no matter who's up and who's down. 2nd down and 9 yards to go for the red and gray of Vineland. Split to the far side is Marcus Lee. The wing back is Darren Ford. He's in motion. On the option, Castillo faked the option and then kept it himself, which is a wise move on that because he picked up, well, the ball will be advanced down to the about the 24-yard line of Ocean City.
One of the things I noticed in a couple of games ago was that Vineland was having difficulty getting to the outside, just like they seem to right now. And rather than handing it off, once they started pitching it, it seemed like they could get to the outside a little bit quicker. So that might be a little strategy that we need to look for.
Vineland stretching the field out pretty wide this time. Marcus Lee to the near side.
There's the pitch. And they cut it back inside.
Pitch to Jamar Bird. Bird took one hit, spun around, and then was nailed. So Vineland again will be short of the first down. It's 4th and a long 4.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we've been saying, that what they're trying to do is to pinch that sweep. Alex Iannone, number 66, came in real fast and forced Darren Ford to cut back inside between the guard and the tackle and wasn't able to get outside, even though he tried to pitch it.
The wind is blowing in Vineland's face as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Although it's not a gusty wind.
Shotgun, Keith.
Shotgun formation, you're right. Castillo pumps once, and he's going to be sacked.
There's number 66, Alex Iannone, who I just mentioned is playing a real nice right defensive end right now. And with nobody blocking him, shot through, and big loss, and will force the punt.
No, it's a turnover on downs right there. That was fourth down.
Exactly right.
So that could be a very critical play right there by Iannone.
Well, you mentioned Ocean City and how tough they've been with Vineland over the years. And the series, the all-time series, is Ocean City leading by a 10-7 score. So they're not about to roll over and die just because of our superior record, that's for sure. 1st and
10 for the Ocean City Red Raiders. Quarterback is junior Jim Crowley, number 24. They run the wing tee as well. In motion comes Coccadrilli. And already Crowley is looking to throw the ball. Looks downfield and fires it. The pass intended for George Coccadrilli. And it falls incomplete.
Pressure from one of the other linebackers that's been doing a great job all year, and that's Christian Guadalupe, number 54. And we'll look for him constantly throughout the afternoon, I'm sure.
Number 30 in the backfield, the fullback, Antoine Campo, 6', 210-pound senior, is the guy who has an ankle injury, but he is in there playing his position. Double tight end for the Ocean City Red Raiders. In motion goes Dan Markman. And the handoff goes to Campo. Campo gets up near the first, but he's not going to be able to convert the first down as the ball is going to be spotted back at the 41 of the Ocean City Red Raiders.
Well, some nice blocking on that play. They got through the first line and the linebackers, and it was Jamar Bird up from his strong safety position to make that tackle.
Timeout called by the official.
Ocean City is young, or we're told that they're young, but with 5 or 6 games under their belt, you can see that they're starting to gel like a veteran team. They're not making many mistakes, and they're certainly putting up a pretty good fight this afternoon so far.
Well, they're well coached, and that's one of the key factors, I think, in Ocean City's success year in and year out. Gary Dagenhart, the head coach, is in his 13th year, has a career record of 92 wins against 38 losses coming into today's game, and he's the winningest coach at Ocean City.
Certainly a very well-respected coach, Gary.
3rd and a long one. The handoff goes to Coccadrilli, and Coccadrilli got the first down, and you could probably hear the reaction from the faithful over here on the Ocean City Red Raiders side of the field.
What a nice move he put on at the end. I believe it was number 25, Pete Caccaro, who had a nice shot at making the tackle, and the runner just leapt over him and got an additional couple of yards before he was tackled and picked up a first down for Ocean City.
The ball is spotted at the Ocean City 47-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Pretty good crowd on hand here today. Understand it's the homecoming day for Ocean City, I believe. In motion goes Dan Markman. Long count. Hand off to Campo. And Campo is brought down. And the first guy to hit him, let me see what number that is 55, Joe Bassetti from his nose guard position.
Yeah, nice play by Joe. Shed his blocker real quick and made a nice low tackle.
Loss of a yard on that carry by Campo. Brings up a 2nd and 11 now for Ocean City's Red Raiders.
Defensive captain Matt Moore gets the signals from Ed Belfi and Coach Nick Basil and relays it to the rest of the team. Also in that defensive backfield, Marcus Lee, Pete Caccaro, and Jamar Bird.
2nd and 11. We have 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first quarter. No score yet between Ocean City and Vineland. Ocean City has the football. Crowley on the quarterback keeper, and he's going to be stopped. No gain on the play.
First one in on that play, didn't make the tackle, but certainly affected it, and how it happened was Pete Caccaro made a nice play and was eventually gang tackled by a variety of Vineland players.
So the ball still back at the 46-yard line of the Red Raiders. They have it third down at 11.
Ocean City with some mild success going through the tackles here, but not much on the end so far. Look for a passing play here, Keith.
In motion again goes Markman. On the counter, it goes to Cocadrilli, and he doesn't get anywhere. So that brings up a fourth down and a punt situation for the Red Raiders.
And again, a nice gang tackle there led by Jaquan Brown and Mark Thompson. A little reluctant to pass after that first attempt down the right-hand side. I was kind of surprised by that.
David Bile is the punter for Ocean City. Back deep, Darren Ford and Jamar Bird.
And there's the attempt to keep it away from the very potent runners of Darren Brown and Jamar Bird by kicking it out of bounds. And the officials will try to mark it around somewhere. Looks like they're going to look around the 40-yard line. .33, Keith?
Yeah, we'll call it the 33.
So there's that strategy we talked about, that little intangible that will keep Ocean City in the game and not have one of those big run backs that Vinyl has kind of been known for in the last couple of games. Keeping it away by kicking it maybe 15, 20 yards, but no drastic outcome for Ocean City.
Marcus Lee to the far side. The wing back this time is Jamar Bird, actually double wing back, Bird and Ford. There goes Ford in motion. The handoff goes to Ford. Ford likes to get to that sideline and turn it upfield. That's what he does this time. Cuts it back a little bit and finally is pulled out of bounds in a desperation play by Antoine Campo.
And that's just how good Darren is. It looked like with the pursuit of the Ocean City players that he was going to be stopped with maybe a mile gain, but he just made a little deke, took a couple of players out of it, put it into second gear, went around the right end and picked up a nice first down to the 48-yard line on the Ocean City side.
So Vineland having some very nice offensive plays today. They just haven't been able to get in the end zone as Ocean City shut them down in the last possession. 2 minutes and 33 seconds. It's a relatively quick quarter because of all the running. Handoff goes to Walt Brown. Brown that time gets shut down. He gets over the line of scrimmage and picks up maybe 2.
Vineland has only attempted to pass, I believe, one time and never got the pass off, but what we're looking at now, I believe, Keith, if I'm looking at the flags, is a wind that's beginning to pick up a little bit, and it might be a factor why we haven't seen too many passes. Oh, I'm sorry, they completed one, that little slant into Marcus Lee to the left-hand side, and that's where he's going right now.
Marcus Lee is the target by, and that one falls incomplete. Tell you, it was a little underthrown as Marcus Lee had to stop and come back for it. Crowley was there. He himself is a quarterback playing defensive back, so he knew what to look for.
That's happened quite often to Marcus over the last 2 years. He's a superior player, wonderful kid also. And Marcus is often double-teamed, and from the defensive side, he often sees the best athlete. And so number 24, Jim Crowley, is the deep safety, as well as a short man is also covering him at the present time.
Castillo again looks to put the ball in the air, but he's going to be forced out of the pocket and manhandled as he is brought down with all kinds of ragdoll style tactics by Alex Iannone.
Yeah, we've called his number quite a few times, number 66, pinching off that end and rushing the quarterback whenever Alex drops back for a pass. And he's been in on a couple of big losses for Vineland.
Brings up a fourth down, and that means Steve Bond is out there to punt for the Fighting Clan. He with the silver shoes.
This will be
fourth down and 16 yards.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't click them together and leave our place. Against the wind. It's a nice Vineland hop.
So the spot, will put it at the Ocean City 23-yard line. The 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. With 1:08 to play here in the first quarter. No score yet between Vineland and Ocean City.
Yeah, nicely contested game here. Ocean City has a nice game plan against Vineland, and I think they're just finding their place right now. Vineland, find out what Ocean City is giving them, and it's been a tough road to hoe so far.
Jim Crowley brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. Looks over the Vineland defense, then settles down behind his center, Jim Dugan. Handoff goes to Campo, and Campo's going to be brought down by Christian Guadalupe.
Second person in, Morgan. And we're going to call their numbers almost all afternoon. Those two guys have a real nose for the ball. I was just watching them, and they just shed blockers, and they find out where that ball is, and they do a nice job of taking those guys down.
Charlie, I don't think we've seen two better linebackers in the league yet this year than Christian Guadalupe and Jeffrey Morgan.
No, it's been a long time, real long time. And boy, it's great to see. Big Mark Thompson on the left-hand side, number 50.
Second down and 8 for the Red Raiders. Campo again on the carry, and looks like Pete Cacaro in there on the tackle. And Rosseltov comes over to finish him off.
Of course, Pete had that big interception to end the Apsagami game the other day.
Oh, he'll remember that for the rest of his life, that's for sure.
But he's a very nice, well-rounded player, and knows his father very well. Comes from a very good family, and it's nice to see Pete doing so well.
Yeah, his dad and I were classmates together, class of '75 from the Fighting Clan.
Yeah, Mr. Cacaro, Pete Cacaro, one of Vineland's finest, one of our policemen.
That's the end of the first quarter as time expires. Relatively quick first quarter with no scorer yet between Vineland and Ocean City. They've been waltzing together out here on the football field, but nobody has yet brought it into the end zone.
Well, I don't think anybody who's been around high school football expected this to be a blowout. I know Jeff Dodd in his prediction indicated that the score, according to him, could be as high as 28-7. And it could very well be, but certainly at the beginning here, it's pretty much an Ocean City Vineland typical game where it's one in the trenches. And we're seeing some great individual performances, not only from the Vineland side, but also the Ocean City side. Number 66, Alex Iannone, a very good athlete. And Jim Crowley, number 24, who's been keying on and spotting Marcus Lee all afternoon. So Vineland, again, needs to find something that Ocean City will give them. This is a real battle for them.
Last year, Ocean City mauled Vineland 36-13. In 2001, it was even worse for the Clan as Ocean City shut out Vineland 35-0. In 2000, Vineland shocked Ocean City 26-22 in Bill McGee's final year. Second quarter just getting ready to begin here at Carey Field in Ocean City. This is Keith Petrosky along with Charlie Sheftall. Try to get the names of our
basking in our glory here, Keith, in the shadow of the Yankees' win the other day, and of course getting set for our big World Series game tonight. But if you're not a Yankee fan, I guess you can't really appreciate that, right, Keith?
We are basking in it right now. Let's hope it continues for a few more games. And Crowley keeps it himself. Tried to slip up in there, but Vineland's defensive secondary came up to stop him from getting the first down. It's going to be close, though.
Yeah, this is a grind-them-out game. Number 13, Marcus Lee, had to come up to make that stop from his safety position.
In fact, this is another so close call that they're going to bring the chains in for a measurement. Ocean City's season so far looks like this. On Friday, September 19th, the Red Raiders beat Oakcrest 13-6. On September 26th, Ocean City shut out Atlantic City 12-0. Then on Saturday, October 4th, Apsagami crushed the Red Raiders 40-7. And last week, Egg Harbor Township beat Ocean City 18-15. So Ocean City right now has a 2-game losing streak going on the season that they're trying to snap. And Vineland has a 5-game win streak.
Just picked up a first down on that run, though, Keith.
Crowley sets his team. Penalty flags.
Too much time.
Litter the field.
What's the call? Against Vineland?
Encroachment.
It must have been lined up that way. I didn't see anybody jump.
So 1st and 5 is the call for the Red Raiders here in the early seconds of the second quarter.
Both teams playing very close to the vest here, not wanting to give any team an advantage. Defense looking for a break.
Handoff to Markman. He's a senior, 5'8", 155 pounds. And the official says he got the first down as the ball is situated, I would say at the 34-yard line.
Nice blocking for Dan.
44-yard line.
Dan Markman making a nice move inside and picking up another first down. That's 2 in a row.
Handoff goes to Markman again. Markman gets into Vineland's defensive backfield, and he's pulled down by Pete Caccaro. And that might have been a touchdown-saving tackle there by Caccaro at the 40-yard line of the Fighting Clan.
A couple of nice cutbacks, but I was watching the blocking on that, and they sealed the linebackers real well on that. And you can see they've done their homework. Number 30, yeah.
Campo is limping off the field right now. Remember, he's got a sprained ankle, and he's been carrying the ball quite a bit today. But that was a call that was a play that he did not touch the ball. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders from the 39-yard line of the Fighting Clan. Fake handoff. Crowley looks to pass.
Oh, my God.
The ball is thrown to no one.
Yeah, that kind of slipped out of his hand. He had a man open, number 80, doing a down-and-out pattern for about 15 yards. Was wide open. Yeah, that just came out of his hands. It's a good thing he was alone. Number 30, as you mentioned, the big running back, 6 foot 210 senior fullback, Antoine Campo, trying to walk off what looks like a little sprained ankle. It's not that he's sitting down or in great pain. He's bent over a little bit, but he is attempting to walk. And it looks like he may be back in the game.
2nd and 10 from Vineland's 39-yard line. Ocean City has the football. Jim Crowley, the quarterback, calls signals. Handoff again to Markman.
Markman running to daylight. That was meant for something close to the guard, but cut it to the outside to pick up a couple yards. Very quick little runner, a halfback. He's a senior also at 5'8" and 155.
3rd down and 7 yards is the situation. The nose of the football just shy of the 35-yard line.
It's been about a 35-yard trek so far for Ocean City, so they are moving the ball methodically.
Third down and 7 yards to go. Delay of game called against Ocean City.
Not a lot of penalties in this game, Keith. It's been pretty clean so far.
Yeah, so far it has been. Last week, as I said, there were 20 penalties. Seemed like most of them came in the second half. Right now it's 9:28 to play here in the first half. No score yet between Vineland and Ocean City. Ocean City with a 2-2 record. Vineland 5-0. Crowley fires the ball downfield.
Oh my.
And it's caught. It's caught by George Cockadrilli. He snuck out there and got behind Vineland's defensive secondary and pulled that one in for a big gain.
Sometimes you just don't have to throw a spiral. That was a wounded duck, but it just had the right distance and the right timing, and nice catch by that young man. And had he not fallen down, was going all the way.
So it looks like the line of scrimmage will be the 8-yard line of the Fighting Clan. All of a sudden, Ocean City is threatening here in the second quarter.
I was watching number 23, their kicker, before the game, and he's pretty good, Keith. He was hitting 30 and 40-yard field goals.
1st and goal to go from the 8-yard line, Ocean City. And off to Markman.
Jaquan Brown shot the gap that time, making a nice tackle, number 61, from his right tackle position. That front line, once again, number 50, Mark Thompson. Joe Bassetti, number 55. Jonathan Roslatov, number 79. The right tackle, Jaquan Brown, number 61. And Aaron Silvers, 51.
Second and goal to go from the 8. Crowley was looking to hand the ball off, but had to do it himself that time. It's like some kind of a miscue on that one, Charlie.
I don't know if he meant to just fake that handoff and continue to roll out, or he was going to follow that back through the hole. But again, number 61 making a real big play. That's Jaquan Brown in that right tackle position. Number 30 was in on that play, but you can see him limping off the field again.
I wonder how long he's even going to be in this game.
Well, I have to admire any young man that just goes through some of the pain that they need to sometimes in this game, because let's face it, it's constant action, constant contact, and still attempts to play.
So the ball is backed up to the 10-yard line. 3rd and goal to go from the 10-yard line of the Fighting Clan. Crowley throws the football, and it falls short of the intended receiver, Dan Markman. So Ocean City, whenever they've been passing today, Charlie's been using those backs who are in motion, and they managed to get themselves in the open.
We're going to see that attempted field goal, I think, that I thought might be a factor here. Number 23, David Bale, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is going to attempt a field goal here. And from this distance, he was pretty accurate in practice today.
So he'll be spotting the football at the 16, so it's a 26-yard field goal attempt. And it's certainly up there, and it's good.
Yeah, that had plenty to spare also. He's got a good foot, this kid. So that was set up, of course, by that long pass down the right-hand side with Crowley on a rollout to the right-hand side. Doesn't look nearly as effective to the left-hand side, and doesn't have a real tight spiral. But as you mentioned, Keith, there are people open. And that little Goodman running back, number 26, I believe, was open on that last passing play. Unfortunately, it was one of those wounded ducks that just didn't get there.
So here we are with 7:18 to play in the first half, and Ocean City taking a 3-0 lead over the visiting Fighting Clan of Vineland.
I'm sure Vineland is not looking through Ocean City, and hopefully the coaches, I'm sure, have set up the scenario that they would have expected down here at Ocean City, a very hard-fought game. And even though Ocean City might have a 2-2 record, might be a little young, have made it plain to them they've got to play one of their better games. And here we see the example of Ocean City playing very tough, stymieing this very potent offense, and putting 3 points on the board first in this game between Ocean City and Vineland.
So David Bile, the guy who got the 3 points for Ocean City, has the ball teed up at his 40-yard line. Ocean City now defends the Ocean side of the field.
Ooh.
The kick is just pulled down by Christian Guadalupe, number 54, right at the 36-yard line of the Fighting Clan.
And again, a very well-coached team, Keith. You can see how they are going to attack this game on kickoffs and punts. They're going to keep the ball away from the very potent offensive threat of Darren Ford, Walt Brown, and Jamar Bird, and kick it short where Christian Guadalupe just settles the ball at the 35-yard line for Vineland. This time they have the wind.
Marcus Lee is double teamed on the far side. The handoff goes to Jamar Bird. Jamar Bird finds some running room, and the ball pops loose, and Ocean City regains it.
Well, nice cut back inside by Jamar, but the first man forced Jamar to be spun around, and when he did, he got hit a second time, and that's when that ball popped out. And Ocean City fired up a little bit here and gets the first defensive opportunity, and we'll have the ball at the, what is that, Keith, the 44-yard line?
44-yard line, yeah.
Of Vineland. They're hungry.
1st and 10 for Ocean City from Vineland's 44 after that fumble by Jamar Bird. 7 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the first half. Markman in motion, and Crowley looks downfield, but boy, he had some great pressure by Matt Moore.
I don't know what
penalty flag is thrown.
Gee, I don't know what the call is there. I thought Matt Moore made a great play, and number 51 following him up. Aaron Silver putting pressure on the quarterback. What'd you see there, Keith?
I think it's grounding.
Really?
I think so.
I thought I saw a man out here on the left. Well, in any case, that was forced. Whether that was, that's how the officials saw it. That was definitely forced by a wonderful play there by Matt Moore.
Intentional grounding was the signal that he gave anyway. So the ball comes back to the Ocean City 42-yard line. So it's 2nd and 25 yards to go for the Red Raiders at this point. Ocean City with a 3-point lead here in the second quarter. Handoff up the middle.
Nothing there is another nice gang tackle.
It's like Mike Terrell. Mike Terrell, number 42, the ball carrier.
Lydell Harris also in on that play, number 14 for Vineland.
Lydell Harris is sort of the 12th guy to go to on the Vineland roster. It seems he starts once in a while, but he's also like one of the first substitutions to come into the ball game.
Lydell's one of those kids that really beefed up over the summer and is a lot stronger at 6'1", 215.
3rd and 24 is the situation. In motion goes Coccadrilli. On the pitch, Markman, and Markman gets pushed out of bounds at midfield.
Very similar offense to Vineland. Nice fake inside, quick pitch to, was that Goodman? Yes. Until he was forced outside by Jamar Bird. Here comes one of those punting plays now where it's over the head of the punter.
Viola had to really struggle, and then I can't believe he got that putt off.
Wow.
It got all the way down to around the 30-yard line of Vineland. He had some severe pressure there.
Wow. Christian Guadalupe was right on top of him with Mark Thompson. You got to hand it to him. He made a wonderful play, and somehow got that kickoff. It had to be underneath their arms. They were all over him.
Had to be, because they really had a beeline for that ball.
That's really good concentration. Wow.
Vineland gets the football back on after the punt. 1st and 10 from their own.
Somehow keeping away from the runners again also. So that really worked out well for Ocean City.
Guess it's about the 32-yard line. Alex Castillo. The ball intended for Marcus Lee, but it's way overthrown into the sideline.
Kind of looked like a broken play. Darren Ford was in motion, and Darren just kind of stopped behind Alex Castillo and really never went into a flat or some kind of a pattern. I kind of think maybe that play went a little awry.
John and I talk about flooding a zone. At that time, the zone wasn't flooded. The only guy there who could potentially catch the football was Marcus Lee, and he was in a sea of red jerseys.
Yeah, there's 4 people around him, and I think Alex just did the wise thing and threw it out of bounds.
2nd and 10. The Fighting Clan has the football. The handoff goes to Darren Ford, who drops it, regains control, and he just couldn't get up ahead of steam to turn the corner, as in on the tackle was number 80 for the Red Raiders, Mike Kinsley.
Yeah, it looks like the Vineland offense is just a little bit in tatters here. Their timing is off, and they're not able to get to the outside to capitalize on their speed. And it's a variety of reasons. Not only are they a little bit off, but the Ocean City Red Raiders have scouted them very well, apparently, and they've got a good pursuit, and they're pinching the corners.
3rd down and 11 yards to go for the Fighting Clan. Marcus Lee split to the far side. Castillo on the quick pitch.
Reverse.
And on a reverse to Marcus Lee.
One man
Marcus
to beat.
Lee has a couple blocks there.
There it is.
What a wall. Look at that wall set up, Charlie. Do you see it?
Ooh. Oh, man.
And a penalty flag is dropped right at the 30-yard line.
Number 34 for Ocean City just made a touchdown-saving tackle. Cockadrill.
Vineland is called with a illegal block below the knees. I think it was Walt Brown coming downfield because he's the closest Vineland player standing near where the penalty flag was dropped.
We've mentioned this before, Keith, that both teams were playing it very close to the vest here, not wanting to make a mistake. But with Vineland having such difficulty moving the ball, Ed Belfi makes the call to put that reverse in, and Marcus Lee just turned on the jets and only had about one more guy to beat, and Cockadrill made that touchdown-saving tackle, which is going to cost about 10 yards, Keith, 10, 15 yards.
Well, the ball is now situated at the 45 of Ocean City. 1st and 10 for the Fighting Clan.
Nice pickup for Vineland, nevertheless.
Joe Bassetti sets up over the football. Castillo hands off to Jamar Bird. Bird bounces around and gets up there for a pickup of, boy, in excess of 6 or 7 yards, Charlie.
Here's that replay of the reverse that we just saw, which is going to happen here any second. Now we're back to live action. But what I think happened on that is Vineland's regained a little bit of their confidence and maybe spread the field a little bit. Jamar Bird with a nice pickup of about 8 yards.
8 yards, so that means it's a 2nd and 2 yard situation for Vineland's offense. Handoff to Darren Ford, and Ford is forced out of bounds. He gets down close to the 20-yard line. Call it the 23.
That was one of the better threats we've seen this afternoon of Darren getting to the outside. Had a couple of guys to beat, and Ocean City stopping that play, but not after Darren picks up another first down for Vineland. Is that the 22, Keith? 23?
22, 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Fighting Clan again. Vineland trying to sustain a drive and score. Walt Brown right up the middle. There's some opening. And he gets down to about the 10-yard line.
I think you can see the difference right now in the Vineland team after having been scored on, how they feel a sense of urgency. And they're firing off their sets a little bit more here. And the running back's running with more conviction. That was a nice run inside again by Walt Brown, who owns the lanes between the tackles.
So from the Ocean City 11-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Vineland can still get a first down about half a foot away from the goal line. And off to Jamar Bird. Bird, what an effort, though, by Bird. Never stopped his feet moving, Charlie.
No, that's the thing that's been characteristic of these 3 backs all season. And Alex Castillo, if I can complete that. These kids don't give up. They can be hit 2, 3, 4 times, and their feet are still moving, and they pick up extra yardage, as we just saw there.
Looks like the ball's about the 7-yard line of Ocean City. Hand off to Darren Ford. It's a foot race. Ford trying to turn the corner, and he is wrestled out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 5-yard line.
Darren almost turned that corner, but Dan Markman, one of the finer players on the Ocean City side, not only as a running back but also a defensive back, made a nice saving tackle of a touchdown. Sure.
3rd and a long 3. The ball at the 4-yard line of Ocean City. Big play for Vineland. Handoff goes to Darren Ford. And Ford is going to be stopped again.
4th and about 3, Keith.
4th and about 3.
Big call for Coach Ed Belfie, only down 3 points. Shall he bring in Steve or go with his strength and go with one of his running backs?
Vineland calls a timeout to consider it. With 2:05 to play in Ocean City with a 3-0 lead, Vineland is going to talk about what their options are here. I don't think there's any question they're going to go for the touchdown.
Nice timeout by Coach Belfie, and rally his troops here a little bit and settle them down and pick out something that's going to work. First big play of the afternoon.
Vineland season so far looks like this. Back on Friday, September 12th, Vineland shut out Lower Cape May 31-0. Then on September 19th, it was Vineland 30, Atlantic City 15. On September 26th at Gatone, it was Vineland 42, South Plainfield 7. Then Vineland shut out Oakcrest 28-0. And last week, of course, it was Vineland 21, Absegami 14 for the 5th win of the season.
Well, I don't see Steve Bond in the game, so I guess you're right, Keith. They're going to go with some kind of a play here to score a touchdown. And not only would it put them up, but I believe what Coach Belfie is also looking for is a psychological edge here with only 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go into the locker rooms at halftime with this psychological edge that we can score and we can go to our strength. So here we go.
4th and 3, the ball at the 4-yard line of Ocean City with 2:05 to play, and Ocean City leading 3-0. Big play for Vineland, 4th down. On the Darren Ford gets a score there. My eyes were following Jamar Bird, but it was a reverse coming back, or a counter, I should say, given to Darren Ford, who scores from 4 yards out. So Vineland jumps ahead of the Ocean City Red Raiders with 1:59 to play here in the first half.
That was as nice a counter as you're going to see. Again, I think both of us were fooled by that wonderful handoff or fake handoff, and Darren Ford went in virtually untouched.
And the kick is no good.
There you saw the tail end of that touchdown run by Darren Ford on a counter play in which virtually no one touched him, and put Vineland up by a score of 6-0. On the ensuing point after touchdown, Ocean City flooded in, and Steve Bond really never had a chance as the kick was knocked down. And Vineland does have a lead, however. It's 6-3 with 1:59 to play here in the first half.
Charlie, I'll say that Darren Ford is in the top, among the top statistic holders in South Jersey. In points, he has, up until today's game, 60. Now you could add 6 more onto that, so 66. And that would put him into second position on the points total. In touchdowns, he has 10. Now we'll make that 11. So that puts him in second position in touchdowns. And in rushing TDs, he has 8, make it 9 now. So that puts him in third position in rushing touchdowns. So he's among the elite in South Jersey football.
Well, you know what's so nice about that play also is that it's a play we've seen all season. It was just the execution of it. We just see the final ending of it, and that's the scoring of Darren Ford and not being touched. But the blocking was wonderful, and Alex Castillo and the fake to Jamar Bird up the middle set up the play and how well it looked.
For the first time this afternoon, Ross Romano will be booting the football from his 40-yard line.
Ooh, I think it was offsides.
The ball takes a squirmy bounce, finally picked up by George Coccadrilli.
Walt Brown on that tackle, and I think we might have got away with an offsides there. I think we're going to see that touchdown run again right from the outset. And watch the execution on the right side and the blocking. Number 67, I believe that's Steve Medio, who made just a fantastic block.
Medio has been a solid blocker for Vineland all season long, and of course he's a two-way lineman, playing mostly offense, but also a lot of defense up to this point of the season.
Yeah, thanks to the truck for allowing us to see that again and giving the line the credit.
Coccadrilli on the carry. I'd like to thank our crew here today. We have Chris Guattardi here, Maria Canigliaro, Jamal Ames, and Matt Minguella, and our crew chiefs, Mickey Brandt and John Sabrana, the supervisor for VPS TV Channel 13. Thanks, guys. You're not really suffering too much today, though. It's a gorgeous day here at Ocean City, a light breeze, land breeze coming from the high school out to the ocean.
Yeah, I can't complain. I brought a heavy jacket. I thought it was going to be a lot cooler down here, but it's a very beautiful day.
Second down and 8 yards to go now for the Ocean City Red Raiders. Little motion there, illegal motion on this part of Ocean City. The penalty flag marks that violation.
Jeffrey Morgan low and Guadalupe up high. Bring down that runner.
Down to 1:06 here in the first half. And Vineland, after that touchdown, is now ahead 6-3 over the Ocean City Red Raiders. The penalty is declined by Vineland, bringing up a 3rd down and 6.
Traditionally a passing down, and we might see quarterback try to roll out here. Crowley, who's not been that accurate nor throw a very well spiraled ball, but has been mildly successful with a couple of completions this afternoon.
3rd and 6. Hand off to the fullback, right up the gut. And Vineland calls a timeout immediately after the play stops because they see 39 seconds on the clock, perhaps enough to get one more score in before the half.
I like that timeout also. 2 very well timed timeouts by the Vineland side. Right now they're going to try to set up some type of situation where they can get the ball to one of the running backs in the back, Darren Ford most likely, or Jamar Bird, and capitalize on their speed. Ocean City has been kicking the ball away from them, either short and low on the kickoffs or out of bounds on the punts. So let's see how they handle this with 39 seconds to go, and Vineland ahead 6-3.
As Charlie mentioned earlier, Vineland and Ocean City have played each other 17 times in history, and Ocean City won 10 of those. They're pretty evenly matched year in and year out, normally.
On the last punt, the snap went over the head of the kicker, and he was just able to get it off. Let's see what kind of a rush we get up front this time.
David Bile is the kicker. Whew. Another heavy rush. I don't know how he's getting those punts off, Charlie. Takes a Vineland bounce. Finally, it is down.
Yeah, you've got to admire
Ryan Gillespie.
You've got to admire his concentration in getting it off. But I thought Darren was going to get a chance to run that one had the ball not bounced away from him as it did. But it just kind of plugged at the 37-yard line, where Vineland will take over with only 32 seconds left in the first half.
There you see Steve Medio and Walt Brown, Jamar Bird, Ross Romano, Alex Castillo, the quarterback, in the huddle.
You know, on that right side on the last touchdown, we ought to give credit also to Aaron Silver, besides Steve Medio, who provided that block on the right-hand side.
Both those guys are doing an outstanding job this year. 1st and 10 for the Fighting Clan. Out of the shotgun. Fake handoff. Castillo airs it out. It's a beautiful spiral downfield.
Oh, yeah.
What a fantastic reception by Marcus Lee down to the 20-yard line. And he was covered, double team there by Coccadrilli, number 34, and Crowley, number 24.
And how many times have we seen that in the last couple of years from Marcus Lee? The determination and athleticism from Marcus Lee is just, it's unmatched.
The big key with him is he keeps his eye on the football and watches it all the way into his hands. Out of the shotgun again.
Plenty of time. Wide open.
Wide open is Darren Ford for a touchdown out of the backfield. So from the 20-yard line, that just shows Vineland's big play potential.
Wow. And the reason for that was Marcus Lee was also set up on that left side with Darren, and he made a slant to the inside. And he's of such concern for Ocean City that he drew the 2 backers, and Darren Ford was wide open. And what a nice ball that Alex Castillo threw. And how about that time he had?
No doubt about it. He had good timing, and as you said, Marcus Lee was a great decoy there to make Darren Ford be all alone in the end zone.
And there's that other option that Vineland's needed, and that was someone else to throw to that Coach Belfie's implemented in his offense.
Vineland going for the 2-point conversion. On the counter play again, Darren Ford fights his way in there, and it's a touchdown, or a 2-point conversion is good.
Deja vu all over again. Same play for the first touchdown was used for that 2-point conversion. And Vineland picks up that point after touchdown that they failed to get the last time and go up by a 14-3 score. Here's that replay. And there's that perfectly thrown pass to a wide open Darren Ford. And you can see on the right-hand side Marcus Lee and how he was covered down the middle and why Darren was so open.
Yeah, I have to compliment Vineland's coaches because they're really deliberate in their strategy, it appears, this year. And you know, they're not panicking. They're just going for the plays that are there, and they happen to be big plays. But I want to compliment those coaches: Ed Belfie, Nick Bazil, Dale Jones, Jamie Burgos, Travis Amstutz, Vinny Terenic, Al Giordano, Kyle Jones, Tim Jess, Rich Scarpa, and Dennis Singleton. They're doing a fantastic job in seeing what's open and making the plays.
Of course, another reason for that, it's not that these coaches have become geniuses overnight. These guys have been good coaches for a while. The fact is that these players are also bigger, stronger, more mature, and have bought into the program that Coach Belfie and his others that have implemented. And we're starting to see the rewards of this. How about this for a comeback, folks? After being down 3-0, this team just storms back and scores 14 points. And I don't know how much time it was, Keith, but it's
39 seconds when they took over the football.
Incredible.
I should say, just let me back up, it was 39 seconds when the punt was made. So back in the 20s, I think 23 seconds were showing on the clock after they got that first big gain, and then they took it in the end zone from there from the 20 after Marcus Lee had that great reception, bring it down to the 20-yard line.
And there's a very smart squib kick by Ross Romano, not giving Ocean City the chance to run anything back. Ross goes both ways, of course. Well, he's a kicker, and I should say he's an offensive tight end.
He gets in at times at defensive end once in a while. We have 8 seconds left on the clock. And sometimes he even punts the football. Coccadrilli on the carry. He's tripped up, but he gets himself down to about the 40-yard line. That's the end of the first half with the score, Vineland 14 and Ocean City 3. Let me just recap the scoring for you before we take a break. All the scoring took place in the second quarter with 7:18 to play. It was a 26-yard field goal by David Bile of Ocean City, giving Ocean City a 3-0 lead. Then with 1:59 to play, it was a 4-yard touchdown run by Darren Ford. Bond's kick was no good, making it 6-3 in favor of Vineland. And with 13 seconds to play here in the first half, a 20-yard touchdown pass from Castillo to Darren Ford. The extra point, 2-point conversion, I should say, by Ford was good, and that made it 14-3, and that's where we stand right now. Charlie, any thoughts before we take a break for the half?
Just that in a minute and 59 seconds with a new sense of urgency and executing as well as they possibly could, and a pair of very well-timed timeouts, I thought Vineland showed its mettle and showed how potent they can be in a very short period of time and how disciplined they've been playing this year to come storming back and take a lead after being threatened with a 3-0 score.
So we'll rejoin the play on the field when the teams come back on the field to begin the second half. And once again, the score here at halftime is 14 for Vineland and 3 for the Ocean City Red Raiders. From Cary Field in Ocean City, this is Keith Petrosky along with Charlie Sheftal. And Vineland currently enjoys a 14-3 lead as we're ready to enter into the second half of play. Charlie, that extra touchdown was really a key moment in this football game, I believe.
And the drama of sports just continues to show how wonderful it can be. The catch to set that whole thing up by Marcus Lee. But we'll get back to that in a minute. Here's the kickoff.
It's received by Jim Crowley, the quarterback, and he advances it from about the 10-yard line up across the 25 to about the 27. And that's where Ocean City will have the first possession of the second half.
Well, what I wanted to mention, Keith, just before the kickoff was how Vineland in 23 seconds had set up that last touchdown by Marcus Lee's spectacular catch in the midst of 2 and 3 other players, and his determination and just will to get that ball just showed us time and time again, and did it again today.
Jim Crowley, the 6-foot, 170-pound junior quarterback, brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. The handoff goes to Coccadrilli. He's only a sophomore, Charlie, at 175 pounds, 5'9".
Pete Caro shedding a block very nicely and making a nice touchdown. Pete having a very nice game today.
Second down, 8 yards to go is the situation coming up.
Of course, that interior defensive line of Mark Thompson, number 50, Joe Bassetti, number 55, the nose, Jonathan Roslatov, 79, Jaquan Brown at the right tackle, having a great day at number 61, and Aaron Silver, number 51.
In motion goes Markman. Crowley has it himself this time, and he's up there near a first down. We'll see where forward motion will mark his progress.
Lydell Harris coming in on the tackle. There's a flag thrown. One of the officials grabs number 54, Christian Guadalupe, and moves him away from some type of extracurricular activity.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Fighting Clan. Will give Ocean City a few more yards tacked on as the ball now is advanced into Vineland territory at the 46-yard line.
Well, I didn't see that in the midst of all those players. Possibly we'll see a replay, but if not, we see Ocean City coming out with a renewed vengeance here, and Vineland having to withstand this this onslaught.
First and 10 for Ocean City.
Nice gang tackling there.
Cucadrilli again on the carry. Here at Cary Stadium on the scoreboard, they have a big poster sign there, home of South Jersey State champs, 84, 98, 99, and also 96. 96 was Group 4, and all the others were Group 3 state championships.
Yeah, they've got great tradition here in a lot of their sports, but especially in football. They've succeeded to win that at least 4 times.
Second and 10. Handoff up the gut to number 42, Mike Terrell. He is shut down by Vineland's defense.
That's where the line thickens there and just stiffens and just can't bust through. Understand we're going to have a replay of that penalty. And if we can catch up the tail end here. Let's look for number 54 here. And pulls him down. Let's see if there's anything here. Not much. Yeah.
Third down, 10 yards to go for the Ocean City Red Raiders. Crowley fires the football downfield, and it's nearly picked off, actually, by Marcus Lee.
He got leveled, and he's up, and he's not walking too well right now. He got leveled by number 50, Mark Thompson. Let's hope the young man is okay, but that pass was obviously affected by that big rush by Mark.
Brings up a 4th and 10 now for the Red Raiders, which means another punt by David Bile. Now, he's had some pressure all day, Charlie. Back deep for the Fighting Clan, Jamar Bird, number 3, and Darren Ford, number 2.
This is going to go out of bounds, too.
No pressure that time.
Yeah. Same strategy. Keep it away from Darren Ford and Jamar Bird and kick it out of bounds. Looks like around the 30, maybe the 25-yard line. Let's see where the officials spot it.
9 minutes and 12 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. And it's 14 for Vineland and 3 for the Ocean City Red Raiders.
Let's see what kind of intensity the offense has. When they were under pressure in that last minute and 59 seconds, were able to score twice. They certainly seemed to pick up their game a little bit and had a little more sense of urgency. Let's see if they come out a little more methodical or play with that same frenzy.
Marcus Lee split to the near side. Handoff goes to Darren Ford. And Ford is stopped. And a fumble, and Ocean City regains it.
Just the ticket that Ocean City needed was a big defensive play early in the third quarter to try to turn this thing around. Darren Ford had about 3-4 players hanging on top of him, and I wouldn't doubt that they're attempting to go for the ball right now, Keith.
According to their statistical review that they provided to us, which, by the way, I have to compliment Ocean City's coaching staff and the athletic director here, Paul Lefevre, for great hospitality. But according to their statistical review, Ocean City has allowed the most points in the second quarter, where Vineland scored all the points, and they've scored the most themselves in the third quarter. Crowley looks downfield, fires the football, and it is a catch. A complete reception to number 26. That's Dan Markman.
Questionable call there. It looked like that might have been trapped, but the official right on the play calls that a reception. As Crowley rolls out to his left and looks for Markman again and makes a nice catch as he's diving to the ground. And Ocean City threatening on the 11-yard line.
First and 10 from Vineland's 11-yard line. Crowley throwing it downfield again. This time it's intended for the tight end, Chugger Lacasse. Chugger Lacasse has been pretty much out of the offensive scheme today so far. That time it looked like he was open, but the ball just thrown beyond his outstretched fingertips.
It was nicely covered. The throw had to be perfect for that to be completed. And the young man just couldn't come up with the ball. I believe Jamar Bird was there on the coverage.
Second and 10 coming up now for the Red Raiders.
Key series here for Vineland if they can stiffen and hold Ocean City and stem the tide of this threat. give them a nice impetus here in the second half.
Handoff goes to Cocadrilli. Penalty flag is dropped in the backfield.
There's a nice play there by a couple of players. Pete Carroll takes out 2 players on that sweep. So the runner virtually has no blockers, leaving him alone so that Jeffrey Morgan could come in and just complete that tackle and stop that play dead.
Say it's an illegal block against the Fighting Clan.
An illegal block. I got to hit that book tonight and find out about these different things that are happening, because I just don't see it. But the official makes the call, and it's second and about 4.5 maybe, about 5 yards to go.
So the ball is on the Ocean City side of the 5-yard line. Crowley keeps it himself and gets across the 5-yard line.
Well, Vineland has shown that they can put up a stiff zone, goal line defense. They did it last week against Absegami. And they're going to be tested here as it's 3rd and about, Keith, I think they can pick up a first down at the 1 if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, so for a touchdown they only have about 4 yards, but they could pick up a first at about the 1-yard line. So a real test for the Vineland front line.
Crowley calls the signals. Handoff goes to Chugger Lacasse, who is in the backfield. And they say he's on the 1 foot or 1 couple inch mark there anyway.
Wow.
First down. So Ocean City will have 4 cracks at less than a foot.
Big Chugger Lacasse, number 5. He's a senior at 6'2", 245. And looks every bit like it. Goes off right guard and picks up the necessary yardage for the first down. So first and goal at the 1, and a stiff defense here, and Vineland's going to need it.
Crowley on the quarterback keeper.
No signal yet. He dove over the center, and he was stopped. That defensive interior line of Roslatov, Brown, Bassetti, Thompson, and Silver, and those linebackers shooting through.
They're really
Morgan and Guadalupe plugged it up and did a fantastic job, and that ball's at about the 1 foot line. Second and goal.
Second and goal to go for the Ocean City Red Raiders. They break out of the huddle.
It's just not going to be that easy.
Chugger Lacasse again back there as the fullback. He gets the handoff and touchdown for Lacasse.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and following his right guard, he found enough territory there to get into the end zone. And in quick fashion here, with only 6 minutes and 26 seconds to go, Keith, looks like Ocean City got themselves back in the ball game.
They sure do.
They fixed the scoreboard. It should be 14-9. And they have a nice kicker, and he will have the win, but it looks like they're going to go for 2.
2-point conversion is what they're going to attempt. In the backfield, Mike Terrell. Crowley has it, and they're going to be denied. So it'll be 14-9 after that 2-point conversion is denied by the Vineland defense.
Nice play. We're going to see a replay on that stop as the quarterback tries to roll out to his left-hand side and cut it back inside, and just found a stiff tackle there with Jamar Bird and others. And a big play as Vineland keeps them within 5 points. Had they scored that, of course, they would have gotten within 1 field goal away. And with a very potent kicker, they would have been a lot closer. But as it is right now, Keith, it's 6 minutes and 26 seconds left. Vineland still leads 14-9.
Charlie, some scores from last night. Egg Harbor Township, who Vineland will play next week, beat Atlantic City 14-9. Absegami lost to Mainland 39-13 after Absegami scored the first 13 points in that ball game. Mainland came roaring back with 6 unanswered touchdowns. Millville came back to defeat Oakcrest 32-28. Buna 35, Bridgeton 28. St. Augustine lost to Middle Township 13-6. Holy Spirit came alive offensively, scoring 48 points. Lower Cape May 20. Delsea beat Kingsway 23-8. And how about this surprise? After all those years of Glassboro doing a great job in their conference, Shalleck beat them 42-14, and Shalleck is undefeated this year. Goes to Jamar Bird. Jamar Bird is taken back close to the goal line, but they say that he doesn't step in it, and manages to return it all the way up to the 19-yard line.
Well, the official was right there, and Jamar actually made a pretty nice catch over the shoulder and elected to bring it out, and eluded a couple of tacklers, but could only bring it up to around the 18-yard line, where Vineland, again, under pressure with Ocean City reviving themselves. And the locker room at halftime come out and score a quick touchdown. Vineland will now come out at their own 18th, 1st and 10.
Vineland needs to have a sustained drive here and try to get some points out of it. And off over to the right side.
Not much there, but a pickup of around 3-4 yards.
Coming into today's game, Vineland has outscored their opponents 152-36. They average over 30 points in each of the 5 games played and allowed an average of slightly more than 7 points for their opponents in each game.
Split far to the left, Marcus Slade.
2nd and 7. Alex Castillo throws the football, finds Darren Ford wide open in the flat. Ford trying to cut back across field and runs into his own man and gets tackled.
Yeah, there's that play that we mentioned that has been an extra weapon in the arsenal of the Vineland team. And I think we're going to see that on the replay. Marcus Lee goes deep on the left-hand side, and flooding that zone that he vacated is Darren Ford. He cuts it back inside, but is tackled by number 62.
So it's 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for the Fighting Clan. The ball is at their own 26. 4 minutes and 58 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. 14-9 is the score, Vineland leading. Whistles blow, penalty flags drop, and delay of game against the Fighting Clan.
Confusion there on the Vineland side. Saw Alex Castillo taking a look to Marcus Lee down the right-hand side, where he was split out far to the right. Possibly some formation not being quite right, but unfortunately too much time was taken, and a 5-yard penalty.
Third down and a long 8 to go for the Fighting Clan. Oh, Alex Castillo wanted to throw the football, but as he got hit, the ball pops loose, and on it pounces number 78, John Martin. And all of a sudden, it's Ocean City's football again, and they're in great scoring position.
Jim Dugan, once again, coming in from his linebacking spot, just levels Alex, who lost the ball. And again, Ocean City on a big turnover here in the 2nd half is threatening once again as they've gotten themselves back in the game with a score of 14-9. They're going to take over on the Vineland 18-yard line, 1st and 10. You know, I was going to remark that we hadn't seen too many turnovers in this game, and here we see 2 quick ones here in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10 for the Ocean City Red Raiders. Threatening to score again after that turnover. And off again goes to Chugger Lacasse. He's become a fixture in their offensive setup here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, big boy. You can see him dragging 2 tacklers with him at 6'2" and 245. If he looks big on your television screen, believe me, live he looks just as big and strong. And suddenly someone who was not in the backfield in the 1st half is becoming a key figure here for Ocean City in the 2nd half.
Seems to be a fan favorite as well, as the fans are chanting Chugger, Chugger, Chugger. Bad snap. I think there was a little mix-up there. Penalty flags drop and procedure against Ocean City.
It certainly may be a part of their strategy, but what we don't see for the Ocean City backfield is Antoine Campo, their number 1 running back, number 30, a senior at 6'2", 210, and he may very well be injured, as we saw him limping in the 1st half. But Chugger is definitely becoming, in his absence, the #1 running back.
Charlie, I'm trying to scan the sideline. I don't even see Campo out here in the second half.
I think you're right.
In motion goes Markman. Long count. Crowley getting some pressure. Decides to keep it himself as he advances the ball up to around the 15-yard line.
Nice coverage in the defensive backfield by Vineland. Crowley had no one to throw to, tucked it underneath, and picked up maybe 3-4 yards on that, bringing up a long 3rd and 7. On these long plays, you notice that our new star for Ocean City doesn't appear, Chugger, although he's in on this particular play.
Hey, Rich, they came to play today at least. They're not as good a team as mine. They're playing hard. I see them beat them.
Chugger in motion comes up to the line of scrimmage. And Crowley throws the football. It's knocked loose, though, and it'll be incomplete.
Yeah, it looked incomplete. Yeah, good call by the official. Number 86 never really had that. Well, let's find out if it was a fumble or not. We're going to see a replay on that.
The receiver was John Fenton. It'll be right in his numbers. Perfectly thrown pass. You can't fault Crowley at all right there. But what a hit by Jamar Bird and also Pete Caccaro, number 25.
Yeah,
never had possession, really.
Questionable call, but official was right there and had the best look at it.
So we're going to go for a field goal attempt here. We saw Bile hit one earlier in the ball game.
And that was against the wind. This time he'll have the wind. And I mentioned in practice before the game I was watching his foot, and routinely he was making field goals of 40 yards.
Timeout is called by Ocean City.
I can't identify that Vineland player who's down, but there's someone injured on the Vineland side.
I haven't scoped to my binoculars. I'm trying to see what the lowdown is. I can't tell if it's just a cramp because he's not really being treated by anyone.
Well, it's been an immediate defensive test here in the second half. This third quarter has seen 2 fumbles by the Vineland offense. Ocean City drove in for the first score and threatening here for a second one, bringing up a very key down and test for this defensive squad. It's 4th and about 6 or 7 yards to go. They've narrowed the score to 14-9 with 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the third quarter. And a little momentum change here. It's where Vineland can turn it back in our favor if they can stop Ocean City, or right here in this very key play, Ocean City can gain the big mo by scoring or at least getting a first down. Big play.
Charlie, Jeffrey Morgan was the Vineland player who was down on the ground, but he got up, he's stretching it out a little bit. I don't think he was hurt. I think it was just a cramp or something that set in on him.
Let's go, Red! Let's go, Red!
Here we go, Keith. Big play.
4th down and 7 to go for the Red Raiders. Big play, as you said, for both teams here.
You're going to roll out right.
Looking back to the other side, gets some pressure, has to throw the ball, and it's intercepted. Jeffrey Morgan on the interception, and he advances it over the 20-yard line. Big turnover there by the Vineland defense to get the ball back for the offense.
Nice coverage in that backfield. Jeffrey Morgan and Christian Guadalupe from their linebacking spots, backpedaling and filling those areas where in the previous play someone had gotten open. We won't see that replay, but what Jeffrey did was to step right in that gap, and on that same slant, which was going to be attempted, which had been previously almost completed, Jeffrey steps in front and picks up the big interception for Vineland.
1st and 10 for Vineland. Handoff goes to Jamar Bird. Bird trying to place his steps carefully and selectively. And is that ball loose again?
Oh, boy. Let's hope not.
No, they say it's second down.
Yeah. Well, that's going to happen sometimes with the continued attempt of these runners to stay on their feet. And because they do that, they're going to get hit by a few more players. And as I said before, what I think Ocean City is doing is going after the ball right now. They've been successful twice. And so with that third and fourth hit, there's more of a chance of the runners losing the ball. And Jamar almost did on that one.
There's an official's timeout for an equipment problem that is now corrected. 2 minutes and 7 seconds are all that remain here in the third quarter. Vineland 14, Ocean City 9.
Well,
Joe Bassetti, the good junior center, comes over the football. I'm sorry, Charlie. In motion goes Darren Ford. Handoff goes to Walt Brown, and Walt Brown gets up there near another first down.
Well, Vineland dodges a big bullet here. They could have been severely hurt by another quick touchdown by Ocean City, but I think, and hopefully here with a nice sustained drive, they can change this momentum, which is rather obvious in Ocean City's favor. And if they can just hold on to the ball and go back to their game plan, we're pretty confident they could do that.
A lot of incentive for Vineland to win this football game today. First of all, to keep their unbeaten streak alive, and also to attain their first winning season since 1991. Hard to believe. Hand off to Darren Ford. Ford has some traffic there, and he just can't squirm his way around it.
And it hasn't been too often that the running backs have gotten around the tackle and out to the end, which they desire to do. Ocean City has been coached very well, did a nice job the entire game. I pointed out very often number 66 on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we'll try to pick out the guy here in a moment, but again, nothing inside or outside for the Vineland runners of any long fashion anyway.
Second down and a long 8 for the Fighting Clan. Alex Castillo turns his hips downfield, throws the ball up, and it's nearly picked off, but it falls incomplete. Pass was really almost picked off by Jim Crowley, defensive back, who also plays quarterback for Ocean City. The intended receiver was Marcus Lee.
Boy, Crowley's been taking his lumps today. Not only has he been taken down a couple times hard from the quarterback position, but Marcus wasn't about to let him intercept that pass that easily. And as Crowley touched that ball, Marcus made a great tackle on him and just brought him down hard enough to knock that ball free.
So far today, Charlie, we've seen Alex throw the ball a few times, Alex Castillo, and I think on those long passes, he's throwing the ball a little bit too late. Also, in this case, into the wind, which has to be pointed out.
Yeah, the wind is against. It's a whole different scenario here passing. Those shorter passes are going to be much more effective in the second half for Vineland.
Third and a long 8 coming up. Big play for Vineland as they try to sustain this drive. That one's tapped away. Oh no, it's picked off.
Wow.
Intercepted. Look what I found, Mom.
Wow,
Number 51.
I think he got that line down on the ground.
I think he did.
That was a middle screen being set up for Darren Ford, and Darren made an athletic play by trying to go up and tap the ball away, but when he did so, and we can see this right here, watch for Darren Ford, taps the ball right into the hands of 51, who's almost on the ground, and literally falls down with an interception, with the third turnover here in the third quarter in Ocean City's favor, in which they've been able to capitalize on one, and the Vineland team stemming the tide on the other, but again, with their back up against their own end zone, will have to stem another tide here with Ocean City taking over on the Vineland 30-yard line.
Jahushak happened to be in the right place at the right time because Darren Ford did nothing wrong. Tapping the ball down is what he should do in that position. Crowley all alone on the quarterback keeper.
Crowley's done that several times today, keeping the ball, and this time on a rollout to the right-hand side, cuts it back inside for a nice pickup and another first down for Ocean City.
You see a great shot of the scoreboard on the Ocean side of the field. As we saw, it was 21 seconds, now 16. And the score, 14 for Vineland and 9 for Ocean City. Just beyond that sign is a little stretch of beach, the boardwalk, and then, of course, the Atlantic Ocean.
Vineland defense has been very good inside their own 20. The problem is, Keith, that they've been out there a long time now, and for the third or fourth series, and this is going to wear away a little bit of their enthusiasm and their energy.
Third quarter has come to an end. That means there's only 12 minutes of football left as the fourth quarter is recorded on the scoreboard. Teams will switch sides.
I tell you what, Keith, this has been fun today. A Vineland team that fights for respect and redemption in more ways than one, facing one of the stiffer tests this year, possibly their stiffest. And in a perfect world, hopefully going into the Mainland game undefeated, where we could possibly steal away a lot of the thunder from the Mainland team that's gotten most of the print. We're going to have to get by this very tough Ocean City team. Very well coached, some nice individuals. And we'll see this test here in the next 12 minutes if Vineland can hang on or possibly turn this momentum around, which is obviously in Ocean City's favor.
The remainder of the Vineland schedule has Vineland hosting Egg Harbor Township Friday, October 24th. That'll be at Cantone Stadium, and that's homecoming day for the Fighting Clan. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff. Friday, November 7th, they'll be at Mainland at 7 p.m. Friday, November 14th or Saturday, November 15th. That'll either be a state playoff or a consolation game. And then, of course, Turkey Day on Thursday, November 27th at Millville, 10:30 kickoff.
Well, it's rather significant now with the beginning of the fourth quarter that the wind is now against Ocean City. We mentioned they have a very good field goal kicker, and possibly the passing game and that kicking game will be affected by the wind.
First down, 10 yards to go for a first. The ball just inside the 20 at the 19.
Jaquan Brown missing a tackle in the backfield. Pete Caro eventually making the tackle with Jeff Morgan, but not until after a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, 2nd and 5 is the situation coming up. The ball looks like about the 13-yard line of Vineland.
Usually see a rollout from the quarterback on this play.
Crowley keeps the ball. Look at that, he spins and turns. Gets down to around the 5-yard line, maybe inside the 5.
Yeah, he fakes to that first back through and usually follows right through the same hole or slightly to the right of it himself. And he's a tall, lanky kid who has a lot of heart. He's taken quite a few hits today on the offensive and defensive side and picks up significant yardage to take it down to around the 4-yard line, where it seems like Vineland defense has been all half here, Keith.
Yeah,
and,
first
picks up another first down.
1st and goal to go from the 4 of Vineland. Ocean City has the football.
Getting a little late here to give up another big score.
Chugger lining up in his tight end position. Buckadrilli.
Off the right-hand side with some good blocking, taking it down to around, looks like about the 2-yard line.
2nd down.
It seems like this has been the entire second half, Keith, with Vineland on its own end zone desperate stand to keep Ocean City out, and it's because of 3 turnovers here in the second half.
The turnovers have been killing Vineland this game. This defensive stand is probably the most important. Penalty flags drop and Vineland says it's against. Yep.
Against Ocean City, that's a key one. Maybe that's some of the youth on the Ocean City side. A very crucial play with only 2 yards to pay dirt. And a score that would put Ocean City ahead with 10 minutes to go in the game. They lose 5 yards. Nick Basil, defensive coach, exhorting his team on from the side. Done an excellent job. It seems like this entire second half.
2nd and goal from the 7 of Vineland. Ocean City trying again. Crowley.
There's that same play again where Crowley keeps it and rolls out. The right side being the favorite side for him, being a right-hander. I don't think it's an option play. It's definitely a design play.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeff Morgan trips him up so that he's finished off near the 4-yard line, where it will be 3rd and goal. I don't think Ocean City is going to consider a field goal on the 4th down, but it will be interesting to see if Vineland can stiffen right here.
Big play here again for the Fighting Clan defensively. Crowley calls the signals. There goes a pitch. Pitcher goes to Markman. He doesn't get in the end zone.
Matt Moore and Jeffrey Morgan again, I believe, on that play. Someone else coming up late. If I can pick him out. It was a nice play. Jamar Bird.
Looks like they're down to the 2 or 3 yard line again.
Yeah, keeping Markman out on that option play in which Crowley pitched it out.
The difference is it's 4th down now and goal to go.
Well, how many times have we said this second half, Keith? This is the play of the game.
Yeah.
Right here.
We've said it too many times. It's a worn out cliche.
Let's see what they pick. Big Chugger's in the game. Let's see, for him to get the ball. He does.
He got the ball and he
boom.
stopped. What a great defensive play for the Fighting Clan.
Who was that on the ground? 14, Lydell
That's
Harris.
Lydell Harris, and who else?
And Jamar Bird. Who just shot the gap. And on possibly the most important game.
Look,
They're just right there.
Chugger stopped his feet from moving. That's the critical mistake there, and the guys just wrapped him up. Stopped him dead. That was a big turnover. Now, Vineland must keep their hands on the football, protected at all costs, with 8 minutes and 3 seconds left to play here in the ball game, and Vineland clinging to a 14-9 lead.
You know what I thought was rather key on that last stop was Chugger tried to go off the right side, and I thought he lost some time on that. Had he possibly gone straight off the left side, he might have been able to use his power and strength that he has. But a fantastic defensive stop, and we've seen that now about 3 or 4 times on the defensive side of the Vineland team.
Officials timeout as Walt Brown was the ball carrier on that last play. Brings up a 2nd and 9.
Well, just about all season we've heard the accolades go to the Vineland offensive side, but it's about 2 weeks in a row now in which Vineland's defense has been a significant part of this team.
Well, last week against Absegami to end that first half, that was just phenomenal to see the defense rise to the occasion. And this week, too, so far. Darren Ford trying to break it outside. Ocean City has done a great job today of containing Darren Ford for the most part. He did score by 4-yard touchdown run in the 2nd quarter, and then he got a 20-yard touchdown pass from Alex Castillo.
Yeah, and that's a residual effect of when you consistently perform well. Whether you're a Marcus Lee or a Darren Ford, you're no longer a surprise. And Keith, the defense is starting to key on these players, and you look for somebody else to come up and spread the field a little bit with different plays and different people.
3rd down and 7 yards to go for Vineland. Alex Castillo, wide open is Marcus Lee, and that's going to be a touchdown pass all the way. Marcus Lee, no one when he's even within 40 yards of him.
Marcus Lee of the sprinter, fantastic speed variety. When he gets in the open, he's gone. He is gone.
I believe that play started from around the 9-yard line.
And I believe we're going to see it again. Here's a pass down the left-hand side, and the defensive player trips up a little bit, and Marcus Lee is gone. Again, reminiscent of what happened in the first half, near the end of the first half, when yardage was needed and Vineland needed the score. They went to Marcus Lee, and credit once again to Alex Castillo for that finally thrown pass. Good timing.
Steve Bond's kick is up, and that one is perfectly right through the uprights. And the lead now is 21-9 in favor of Vineland. There's that big play potential again, Charlie. 91-yard touchdown pass, Castillo to Lee.
Very reminiscent of what happened in the first half. When they were pressured a little bit and they seemed to be under the gun, they responded with big plays, and Marcus Lee being right in the middle of it. Of course, Alex Castillo has the time to throw also, and you've got to give credit to that offensive line of Mark Thompson, Jaquan Brown, Joe Vassetti, Aaron Silver, and Steve Medio doing a fantastic job in giving Alex the time. But once again, Marcus Lee getting open, and with his veracity and determination to get the ball, just lost that defensive player who seemed to trip, fall, but nonetheless, a quarterback, a great touchdown for Vineland.
We're going to get to see that touchdown again, I believe, on our instant replay. See if we get it up there. You see Rowdy Rooster over there, and the Vineland marching clan. Well, there's Ross Romano. trying to break that football in. Here you see the, no, that wasn't the play.
Well, Keith, was that the straw to break the back of the Ocean City Red Raiders, or do they have anything left?
6 minutes and 34 seconds. Their offense is just, as you said, very well coached. Don't count them out yet. Jim Crowley takes it from the 2. Right up the middle. Look at that, still on his feet. Vineland has to make some tackles. Oh, he drops the football, but I believe he regained possession. Crowley took it from the 2 all the way up to the 45. Vineland hasn't had too many breakdowns on special teams, but that certainly was one that could have been very, very detrimental.
Well, that prediction of Jeff Dodd might be truer than we thought. His prediction of 28-7 is awfully close to what the score is right now of 21-9.
He's gloating over here next to us.
And with only 6 minutes and 23 seconds, let's see how true he is.
I think really Jeff volunteered for this duty today down here in Ocean City. He knew the weather was going to be great. He knew the pizza was going to be in the box.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He was in Millville yesterday, and he's all over the place.
1st and 10 for Ocean City's Red Raiders. Crowley looks downfield. What a hit he took. Just as the ball was being released, Matt Moore coming in from the blind side, and Crowley gets a little slowly.
Yeah, we saw that perfectly. He came right from the end where we are, right by the booth here. And we could see that he had a great line on the quarterback. And just a little late, Crowley got it off, but it went incomplete.
Crowley's a pretty good quarterback. I like the way he handles himself on the field. Except for that one dead duck pass he threw that still ended up being a good one, a good reception. But that was into the wind.
Yeah. He runs back kickoffs. He's
yep.
a defensive back. And
he's there.
The quarterback. He's a good athlete.
Knows where the ball is. 2nd and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Ocean City has it.
Oh my!
That one is nearly picked off. In there, almost ready to pick it off is Lydell Harris, number 14, and also Mark Thompson, number 50. Both those guys were there. There were no red jerseys there.
Might have been a little screen being set up on the left-hand side, and under pressure, almost picked off. And not too many people in front of Lydell Harris had he gotten that.
Glad to hear, Charlie, from your perspective that the enthusiasm in the school is building for the team. I can tell you from the community it's also building.
Look at the stands, Keith. We're
yep,
an away
filled.
game. There must be several hundred people here.
Filled.
And at home, it's capacity almost every game now.
A couple of years ago, you could count, well, John and I always had a rolling bet, less than 50 fans. Crowley looks downfield again. That ball is incomplete. Vineland's defensive backfield doing a good job here this afternoon.
Well, absolutely. From my perspective as a physical education teacher at the school for 32 years, I've seen all the peaks and valleys, and I'm very happy to report to the people of Vineland that the school is revived. The kids feel good about what's happening. The players are disciplined and very well coached, and I've seen other things happen that weren't as great. So we're definitely in an upswing, and hopefully for years to come. And it's wonderful to see the community out here supporting our teams, our athletic teams. Lord knows I could go on and on about the accolades and why athletes are so important, but just great to see the atmosphere that's being provided.
Our camera crew just scanned the Vineland sidelines, the stands, everything, and it was, you can see, filled to capacity. There's Vineland again defensively. Christian Guadalupe, Matt Moore, and Jaquan Brown, number 61, all in on that tackle to stop it.
Yeah, that momentum swing that we were talking about has definitely happened. And as tired as the Vineland defense might be, you can see another very key thing happening, and that is that emotion as well as being in shape is a big difference here with this team. And whereas Ed Belfry said at the beginning of the season his team was not in shape and it was costing him, these guys have been out here for a long time, and you can see on that gang tackle they're into this game and they're primed.
So Vineland has it back, 1st and 10, inside Ocean City territory to begin this possession. Walt Brown has an opening. Walt Brown, if he could keep his balance, he might be gone all the way. Walt Brown in for a touchdown from right from the line of scrimmage from the 43-yard line. So a 43-yard touchdown run by Walt Brown.
what's so wonderful about these running backs, and we'll get to see this in a moment. Here it is right now. And a nice deke inside, nice cut right there, stays on his feet, great balance. And you can see what a great athlete he is also. And this determination and this never quit, never say die attitude that these running backs have in this entire team is really showing right now.
Alice Castillo will hold the ball for Steve Bond's attempt at the extra point. It's up, and it's no good. So the score, 27 for Vineland and 9 for the Ocean City Red Raiders.
I'm going to start calling Jeff Dodd the sage.
The sage.
Yeah, where do you get your information, Jeff? Jeff's got the game at 28-7. It's 27-9. He's not too far off. He's sitting right next to us. And fortunately, it's on the Vineland side, folks. With 5 minutes and 51 seconds to go, Vineland's ahead.
Tell you, Charlie, I wouldn't count out any more scores the way these two teams are playing here this afternoon.
See if you can get a prediction on the Mainland game for him.
Maybe we should tell Jason to stay away all the time.
You know, another thing, if you folks were watching the stands when it was just panned by Channel 13, was the amount of players also that are out, the renewed interest in the football program. And I know the city is doing all it can to support the football program. There's talk of, and I don't know if it's been completed or not, but there's talk of football fields near the Maple Street complex.
Maple Avenue, yeah.
Maple Avenue complex. And keeping the old one certainly, but expanding that as well as everything else that seems to be happening in our town right now, the expansion of many great things that are happening.
Ross Romano has been known to be able to kick it in and out of the end zone. Let's see what he does this time. Nice end over end kick taken at the 6-yard line. And that was Dan Markman on the return. There you see it, 5:44 to play in this ball game. 27-9 is the score in favor of Vineland.
Ross Romano, the kicker, doing a nice job of getting that ball deep, keeping Ocean City deep in their own end. Ross also a basketball player and a good student.
It's nice when we're able to talk about these student athletes and you can add on an exclamation of good student. Quarterback in for Ocean City. That ball was thrown and falls incomplete. Quarterback in there right now is Harry Spiegel, number 13. He's a senior at 6 foot, 190 pounds.
A lot of things come together for a successful team. We mentioned the coaching, the preparation, what have you, but the quality of the students is also a key figure. They could be great athletes and pose a big problem. I can attest to being in the school with many of these kids, having them in class or knowing of them, that it's a quality group of kids. And I personally am very proud of them for not only that, their success on the field, but also the quality of character that they display.
2nd and 10. Spiegel hands off to Mike Terrell. Charlie, I know we touched on it a little bit earlier, but there are a lot of Obergs on the roster here at Ocean City right now. John Oberg Sr., of course, legendary coach, now retired from Delsea Regional High School, is here as an assistant. Also, his son, John Oberg, is an assistant coach under Gary Degenhart. And his son, John Oberg, I guess the third, maybe more than that, he is a sophomore quarterback on the JV squad, I imagine. 2nd down, 4 yards to go for Ocean City now. Spiegel, oh man, Matt Moore had him right in his sights, and Spiegel got a hit by Moore just as he released the football, and complete is the pass.
First it was Crowley, now it's Spiegel who's getting the worst end of it on those pass plays. Again, Matt Moore coming from the blind side, just leveling Harry Spiegel. Defense having a little fun. They may be a little tired, but certainly not giving up any significant yardage, still very much in the game, and sending a message to the rest of the league that they're a squad to be reckoned with.
Ocean City goes on the road on Friday, the 24th of October. They play a team called Academy Park in Pennsylvania someplace. Game's at 7 o'clock, so a non-conference game for the Red Raiders. Handoff again goes to Terrell.
A couple substitutions now on the defensive side for Vineland, and a very significant name for you folks that have been around for a while. Number 31 was just playing linebacker. His name was Steve Leak. And if you remember the Bill Kuchar days, he had a very significant, powerful runner named Steve Leak, who I remember would run a play 6 and 7 and 8 times in a row if it was successful, part of Bill Kuchar's philosophy, and a very successful player at Vineland. And a matter of fact, I saw Steve Leak in the stands, so he must be very proud to see his son playing for Vineland.
No doubt about it. He's had some good contributions so far this year. Not quite in the starting lineup, but working his way hard to get up there. Hand off to Brown, and he's dropped for a loss of yardage.
Vineland, I'm sure, will play rather close to the vest here with a nice 18-point lead with only 4 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game. Not taking too many risks, especially in light of the fact that they've turned over the ball at least 3 times at Ocean City, with Ocean City capitalizing 1 time.
Back on the counter comes Darren Ford.
Goodbye.
And Ford is going to go all the way for a touchdown. Again, one of his trademark touchdowns on that counter from the 30-yard line. Oh, they said he stepped out?
That wing T, he was the 3rd option, and then on that counter play around the right side, Darren Ford finally gets to the outside. And I thought the afterburners on, he was going to make it, but was either pushed out or inadvertently stepped on the line, and the ball was spotted about the 5-yard line.
Do we have that on replay by any chance?
Official was right there. He looked a little hesitant, but made the call. It'll be first and goal for Vineland from the 5.
Not getting an answer. I guess we don't have that one available. I would just wanted to see for a fact. I was watching him run down there. I didn't see him step out of bounds, but head off to Darren Ford. They're giving it back to him. See if he can get it into pay dirt, and he's going to be dropped inside the 5.
Darren had to cut that back inside where there wasn't much daylight. Picked up maybe a yard down to the 4. Again, 3rd option on that wing T.
2nd and goal to go. The ball appears to be about the 4-yard line of Ocean City. So Vineland is definitely threatening again here with 3:25 to play in the ball game. To Jamar Bird, and he's in for a touchdown. 3-yard touchdown for Jamar Bird.
Yeah, student body
4-yard
left.
touchdown, I'm sorry.
Student body left that time, some nice blocking. Jamar makes one fake inside, takes it to the outside. Here we see, again, nice block by the 2 up backs. Jamar just takes it to the outside and waltzes in for the next touchdown, making it 33-9 in favor of Vineland, with Steve Bond on to add the PAT.
Penalty flag is thrown high in the air to stop this extra point attempt. Well, Vineland has managed to exceed their point average for this game.
Well, it took them a while, but characteristically of Vineland, when they seemed to be threatened and under the gun, that's when they responded. And the personality that you know, is certainly going to benefit them anytime they get fall behind.
That's really what happens, Charlie. I think they just get angry that the other team, their opponent, is doing something good. The defense steps up, and then the offense takes over.
Yeah, and it's not that they're an inferior opponent. Ocean City has put up a real stiff test. It's just that Vineland turned on the afterburners, and when they felt at their worst, they performed to their best.
This is a long one, and it's going to be, oh, it bounces the upright and bounces through. So Steve Bond gets one, a long extra point to make it 34-9.
And Steve is capable of hitting him that long. It's just that was a little low. Unfortunately, it took a bounce for Vineland and went over, making the score 34-9.
gorgeous afternoon here in Ocean City. The sun is shining, and for Vineland, they're putting a little damper on the homecoming festivities that the Red Raiders were trying to enjoy. Ocean City, coming into this ball game, has only scored 47 points while allowing their opponents to score 64.
Well, Keith, only 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to go, and what is seemingly an unsurmountable task here. It's a
power outage.
I needed a slice of pizza.
Ross Romano's ensuing kick went into the end zone, which means that it's a touchback. Ocean City has it now from their own 20-yard line, with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Quarterbacks all afternoon for Ocean City have had some mild success by keeping the ball themselves after initial fake and taking it around the end. And we saw it again there with the new quarterback, number 8, Jordan Taroni. Bunch of new players on the defensive side right now. Maybe we'll pick out a couple for you. 22, I see Robert Lopman, a sophomore, 5'5", 155 in the defensive backfield. Number 32, Antoine Brown at 5'4", 150.
I have to get a player's name in for a second here, well, after this play, Charlie, because I finally got an identification. Penalty flag is thrown. Number 40, at long last, we have discovered from the staff, is DeJuan Reeves, who's a junior, and he's one of the only players out there that doesn't have his name written on the back of his jersey, and he's not identified in the program or on any roster. So DeJuan Reeves is number 40. Sorry, DeJuan, all season long we've been calling your name. We've been trying to get it, and it wasn't until today that we were successful.
Well, here's the program, folks, and here's the benefit of it. It may be with only 2 minutes to go. However, what you're seeing are sophomores right now and juniors that, of course, toil all week and play JV and freshman games, but they're in on a varsity game, getting some valuable experience, and will have certainly benefits and show up in latter years where they get this varsity experience.
1st and 15. It's a little more than 15, but penalty flags again litter the field.
Yeah.
Saw Chris Wilson in there, number 53 for the Fighting Clan. Also, Mike Ballard.
Getting look a little bit like a JV game with both sides substituting freely. One of the positive things, though, that I see on the Vineland side is if you look at the crowd again, very few people have left. Everybody's here right to the end and supporting their team right to the final gun.
I want you to tell our buddy Robin Daplin how well we're treated here in Ocean City. They have pizza from Mac and Mango's here for us.
Yeah, big hit,
by the
Robin.
box full. We have
first-class operation.
First-class operation.
Yeah, again,
no
thank you to the Ocean City folks here. Very nicely treated. And of course, I said half-heartedly. I've always believed that no one has a better stadium in South Jersey than we do.
Oh no, not at all. Our facilities can't be beat. We set up a pizza for Mac and Mango.
Yeah, just set up a pizza, Robin. That's all.
The ball is thrown down and incomplete, intended for number 42. That's Mike Terrell from his backfield position.
Nicely thrown pass. One of the newer players, Sean Bowman, was right there, a freshman, running back and a defensive back at 5'10", 185.
I also see Lopman in there, number 22 for the Fighting Clan. Brown, number 32. Anthony Robinson, number 34.
Randy Eccles, number 66.
Jason Janaziak, number 73. Third down coming up now for Ocean City. The ball's thrown and it's caught. I think that's the kicker, Dave Bile, who caught that pass from Taroni.
What year is he? He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
He's shown some real poise today from
Yes,
that kicking position. And
he has.
just proved that he's multifaceted also. He's 6'1" and 200 pounds. Minute and 19 seconds to go, Keith, with a score of 34-9 in Vineland's favor.
Ocean City inside Vineland territory now at the 46-yard line. Handoff goes to number 10. That's Scooter Williams.
Scooter scoots through. A nice run. A couple of good fakes until eventually brought down at the 34-yard line of Vineland.
Well, as this game winds down, Charlie, talking about Scooter Williams reminds me of Scooter Rizzuto, and that leads me to the Yankees. That's how my mind works. But let's keep our fingers crossed, root for the team, right? You and I are fans. When John's here, I can't get the satisfaction because,
yeah,
of course.
I just don't know how anyone would not like this team with the character that they have. And, of course, Aaron Boone, who was the GOAT of that series, becoming the hero, was just wonderful. And his reaction to him hitting that game-winning home run, just being in awe like a little kid, was just wonderful.
Tironi tripped coming out of his after the snap there.
Again, a Vineland defense made up of mostly underclassmen, a couple of juniors, some sophomores and freshmen who stand on the sidelines to support the varsity team day in and day out, game after game. Today getting a nice chance of playing.
And that's the end of the ball game, folks. Let me recap the scoring for you. Back in the second quarter, it was a 26-yard field goal by Dave Bile that put Ocean City on the board first, 3-0. Then from there, with 1:59 to play before halftime, Darren Ford took it from 4 yards out and made it 6-3 in favor of Vineland. Then just before halftime, with 13 seconds to go, it was a 20-yard touchdown pass from Alex Castillo to Darren Ford, and the two-point conversion by Darren Ford was good, making it 14-3 as the teams went into the locker room at halftime. In the third quarter, with 6:25 to play, it was a young 1-yard Chugger Lacasse score for Ocean City. The two-point conversion was no good. That gave Vineland's lead cut to 14-9. Then in the fourth quarter, it was all Vineland. At 6:34, 91-yard pass from Castillo to Marcus Lee. The kick by Bond was good, making it 21-9. 5:51 to play. It was a 43-yard touchdown run by Walt Brown. Bond's kick was no good, 27-9. And then with 3:14 to play, a 4-yard touchdown run by Jamar Bird. Bond's kick was good, making it 34-9. Charlie, Vineland's schedule next week, we're at Gatone Stadium. Friday, October 24th against Egg Harbor Township. It's homecoming, and that kickoff is at 7 o'clock.
Big game, of course, if they can beat Egg Harbor. They will go in undefeated against Mainland, who we can assume will be the same, and possibly fighting for the overall crown of the division. Keith, I think this team is finally through the first couple of psychological barriers that they had. They were fighting for respect and would often say that they wanted to be respected before their play and how they responded to the different challenges. I think they're finally through that. I think another thing they've defeated is redemption for a lot of the past failures that they had and some of the teams that have maybe been kicking them around for the last couple of years. And now it's a matter of keeping this successful keel, of taking on the bigger boys, of getting into the playoffs, of fighting for a title, and they're into a different realm. Something that if you've been around Vineland football enough, you're familiar with. And I think in this peak and valley scenario that we often see, we're at a peak here, folks. You can be proud of this team. You can be proud of the way that our town is supporting it. As I said before, being in the school is a whole different flavor to what's happening. And I'm absolutely looking forward to the Egg Harbor game. And Keith, I enjoyed working with you again today. And, of course, I'm going to have the opportunity, I believe, on Turkey Day against Millville, of doing it with you, or John. I know one of you guys can't make it, but I look forward to it. This is a lot of fun, and thanks again for inviting me.
Sure, Charlie, anytime. Once again, our crew, Chris Guittardi, Maria Canigliaro, Jamal Ames, Matt Manguilla, our crew chiefs Mickey Brandt and John Sabrana here today. And from a beautiful Saturday afternoon in mid-October here from Ocean City, New Jersey, once again, the final score, 34 for Vineland and 9 for Ocean City's Red Raiders. Vineland advances their record to 6-0 for the first time since 1984. And also they seal a winning season for the first time since 1991. So that is an accomplishment as well. Ocean City drops to 2-3 on the season. Once again, a reminder, next week it's homecoming. Be at Gatone Memorial Field by the 7 o'clock kickoff time, and you won't be disappointed. It's a great place to see a game. Vineland's playing great football, and Egg Harbor should prove to be a formidable opponent. Once again, that's Friday, October 24th at Gatone Memorial Field at 7 o'clock. Once again, for our entire crew here of VPS TV Channel 13, I'm Keith Petrosky. My partner, Charlie Shefdahl, says he enjoyed it here, and we enjoyed having him with us as well. So once again, the final score, 34 for Vineland, 9 for Ocean City. See you next time.
Second and a long 9 coming up here.
Oh, nice job. Oh, great job. Was that Bird? Darren Ford. Number 3.
No, 3 is Bird.
Bird, yeah. Apologize. Great job. Woo.
Rami Coley was the ball carrier.
Great job by Bird. Took the block on, shed it, made the tackle. Don't get any better than that.
3rd and 8 is the situation coming up now.
John Winchester has been playing a little ball in the secondary. He's in with Marcus at the safety spot.
It's good Vineland moving in different guys to get some experience in there.
Yeah.
Whistle is blowing.
Delay
the
game.
Official delay of game.
Ooh.
8 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first half. 7-0 in favor of Atlantic City.
This is another rule I hate, Keith. They should have a 25-second clock on the field so that you know how much you got. You know, did that look like it was any different than any other play?
It didn't, not to me.
Yeah. You don't know. That guy standing back there, he could count to 19 if he wants.
He wants to go home early, too.
Yeah.
There's a
that's
halfback pass.
intercepted. Come on, catch that.
He got it.
That's
What an oh boy, I hope we have that on replay.
Oh.
Marcus Lee did an outstanding athletic move there. Stayed with the ball the whole way and outstretched his body to come down with the interception.
Good job. That was.
He's trying to get people psyched up in that red and gray.
Yep. I'd like to see Coach go back to what worked last week. Counters, get him outside, get forward, get his speed going.
Marcus Lee split to the far side. Darren Ford, the wing back.
There we go.
That goes to Walter Brown.
Yeah. Bread and butter there.
Up to the 40-yard line. That's what we like to see. Chewing up some yardage on the field.
Yeah.
Positive yardage.
Yeah.
Oh, here's that interception, John. No. I don't know what the heck that is. It wasn't the play we wanted to see.
Yeah.
Second down and a short 3.
Oh,
that was a bad
I think it's
handoff.
Atlantic City.
I think he stripped it.
Yeah.
It is. Atlantic City got it back. Walter Brown got the handoff, but I think it was on his hip. And Atlantic City just grabbed it.
They took a little page out of our defense. They blitzed both their linebackers to shot the gaps. And pretty good. All right, Vineland just have to, do what they've been doing. Going in 7-0 is not bad. Going in 14 would be a little row to hoe the way we're playing offensive.
Rob Reynolds directing this wishbone offense for the Atlantic City Vikings. They enjoy a 7-0 lead over Vineland so far. We're in the first half.
Oh, what a
Pass
great
down to
catch.
Steve Hathaway.
Holy
And I'll tell you, he was leveled by Marcus Lee, and he still held on to the football.
Oh.
Hathaway, he's taking a breather now.
Oh.
He got waffled by
not a
Marcus Lee.
He don't have any breath left. What a shot by Marcus. What a catch.
Here we go. Now you'll see this one. Right down the center. Boom. Marcus Lee just nailed him.
What
Good
a
job,
great
Marcus.
catch. What a great hit. I think he got the wind knocked out of him, Keith.
Down to the 7:01 mark here in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's up. He's up. What a great catch. What a great hit. Great football play all around.
Public address announcer is introducing the cheerleaders, and we'll talk about them a little bit later. When we have a longer break. 1st and 10 for the Atlantic City Vikings after that great catch by Hathaway.
Oh, good job. Ooh.
That's Coley on carry.
Guadalupe. Good job from the linebacker spot. I'll tell you, our linebackers are getting better and better, Keith. They have really filled the holes, and they've done what they have to do. The 5 men up front are really doing their job, and the linebackers have filled the gaps very well.
2nd and 10, the ball at Vineland's 29-yard line. Atlantic City has the football.
We're still on our 5-2.
On the option, Reynolds hands off to number 44 for the Vikings. That's Adam Bussler.
Yeah.
He's a junior.
Well, I think coach has got to decide what he wants. He's got 3rd down and what, Keith, 7? Does he have 2 cracks at 7 yards or 1?
I think 2.
Okay. I don't know much about their kicker, although he kicked the extra point pretty good.
I asked Bobby Weiss specifically how his kicking game was, and he seems pretty confident with it. So a timeout is called. That'll give me a chance to introduce you to our cheerleaders. Maybe we could get some camera action on the cheerleaders. The captain is senior Kelly Fiocchi. Co-captains Tacona Ledbetter and Christina Guadalupe. The other senior members, Kelly Barcy, Blair Cohen, Adriana DePello, and Lauren Harvey. Also Christina Lackey, Elizabeth Pizzo, and Brooke Rose Tharp heads off the juniors along with Raven Mayfield, Kimberly Ballone, Stephanie Gaboro, Renee Longini, and the sophomore members Kylan Carter, Sharisa Burgos, and Kenneth Ransom. Kenitha Ransom, pardon me, is a sophomore. And the coach is Kelly Rudd for the cheerleading squad of Vineland High School. There you see them. Have a nice night to do their stuff tonight, John.
Oh, it's beautiful out, Keith. Getting cooler. Nice breeze. That lady's gone from our weather.
Picking on Isabella.
Oh, yeah.
3rd and 7. Vineland's defense does a good job there in stopping the action right at the line of scrimmage.
Very good job. Thompson, that front 5 is doing a real good job filling the holes and getting tremendous help by the linebackers. Well, Coach Weiss made his decision. He's going for the first, Keith.
I thought he might.
Yeah.
Because Vineland's offense has really been ineffective.
Is that word, bogged down?
Bogged down, yeah. It's just all cooked up.
Oh,
well, there's movement by Atlantic City. See, they were going with a long count to try to get a cheap 5 yards. And their own right tackle jumped. Well, John, some lucky fans get to see a couple of games this weekend because of this storm that moved through.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of Millville fans over here, some of the Millville faithful. They'll be able to see Vineland tonight, and then tomorrow night, Mainland and Millville will be playing.
Coach Heck started out with a victory.
I'll run down the scores for you in a little while from last week's action. Reynolds throws a nice pass on a crossing pattern, but it's going to be Vineland's football after the fumble.
Yeah.
Moving across was Joel Mejia. He's a senior, but he dropped the football after he made a nice catch on the slant pattern.
Keith, I don't think he had a first anyway. Looked like he was short. which is good.
You say Joe Bassetti picked up the fumble. That's good.
Okay, 4:35.
4:35 to go in the half.
You know, let's see if we can get a drive going. You got plenty of time. You just don't want to give it up down here, that's all. Don't do anything to...
Marcus Lee split to the far side. Darren Ford, the wing back.
Let's see if we can get some of our speed outside.
Brown and Bird in the backfield with
Yeah,
Castillo. There goes the pitch to Bird. Bird eludes the first tackler and then gets caught in a pile there, but he got positive yardage, John.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Absolutely. I tell you something. You keep pounding with those speed, you're going to break one.
Oh, I think so. They can't push the panic button yet.
No. Too much
time left. And they have too many good skill position players. Have confidence in them, right?
Another fumble by AC. That's what, 4?
Second down and 6 coming up now for the Fighting Clan. The ball just shy of the 20-yard line.
A lot of room to the right. There
Out
it
at
is.
The 18.
Okay. All right.
On the carry was Walter Brown.
That's positive yards again. Has Alice completed a pass? I don't remember one, Keith, do you? Is a couple intercepted?
I don't think he completed a pass yet tonight.
It's all right.
Walter Brown, if he looks like one of the smallest guys on the field, he is. He's 5'6", 160 pounds.
He's tough.
But he's tough.
He's tough.
That was going to be my next line. Splits to the far side this time.
Got
That's
a
Marcus
lot of
Lee.
room to the right. Good play.
Pitch goes to Ford.
Good block.
Ford has a block there.
Yeah.
Got the first down. No penalty flags, and he moves up to the 40-yard line.
Yeah. Excellent job on the outside. Two good blocks on the corner out there. Got plenty of time yet. A couple more runs.
Marcus Lee split to the near side this time. Penalty flag thrown. I think Atlantic City jumped the gun a little bit.
I don't know.
Gives us a chance to go over the replay here, and you'll see how.
Nice job on the outside. Good blocks.
There goes Darren Ford.
There's a good block right there on 22. Nice tackle.
So encroachment against the Vikings moves the ball up 5 yards to the 45-yard line of Vineland, where the Clan has it 1st and 5. They need to get to midfield for the first down. The pitch goes to Bird. Bird, it's a foot race. He gets the first down, plus some. He's still on his feet. Cuts it back inside. Eludes 2 more tacklers, and he's going to go all the way in for a touchdown and no penalty flags. That's a 60-yard touchdown run by Jamar Bird.
Pretty good job out there again.
And you can hear the reaction from the Vineland partisan crowd. Boy, when was the last time you heard applause like that, John? Well, Thanksgiving, I guess.
Good job. Good blocks. Excellent job by the wideouts.
He just has a knack.
Darren Ford, nice job.
Look at that block there. He just gave him the time to get around the corner.
There's a good job right
Boom.
there.
And look at this. This is all
Great
just one-on-one. I thought he was going to be pulled down perhaps by his belt.
Yeah.
Well, in last week's victory, Jamar Bird and Darren Ford each had 2 touchdowns apiece. Little pressure now on the extra point. I was told by Coach Belfi that tonight they were going to put in Ross Romano as the extra point kicker.
Yeah.
But right now it looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion.
No, I don't think so, Keith.
No?
I see a lot of.
I saw Alex Castillo in there.
Yeah, but I think he's
I
the
guess he's the holder, yeah. They are going to kick it.
Yeah. Too many lineman numbers in here, Keith.
2 minutes and 15 seconds are all that remain here in the first half. Vineland has come within 1 point of tying the football game, and now it'll be Ross Romano's responsibility to knot the score at 7 apiece. Let's see if he can do it. Alice Castilla will be holding, so you always have that threat of a fake. Snap is up,
snap.
and the kick is no good. A knuckler to the left.
Ooh. Boy, it looked like they did everything right there. The snap was good. The down was good.
Everything looked good.
He took one step.
So 7-6 is the score. Atlantic City retains their lead. You're going to see that touchdown run in slow motion. Man, even in slow motion, Darren Ford looks fast, doesn't he?
No, Bird.
Or Jamar Bird, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Here comes a good block here.
Oh, that's a great block.
Oh, oh.
Man, what a block there.
Guadalupe.
That was fantastic.
54.
Christian Guadalupe. All 6 feet, 185 pounds of him.
Yep.
There Bird goes after the turning on the burners. Good team effort there. So Romano tees up the football at Vineland's 40-yard line. Tariq Bryant, number 2, is back deep along with number 1, Joel Mejia. The ball is dropped by the one of the up guys here for Atlantic City.
Oh, he almost got away.
Man, that's a second effort.
Sure was.
Atlantic City will have it from their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Critic in every crowd.
Yes, there is.
1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Well, at least they didn't tell me the language was bad this time.
Atlantic City now breaks out of that wishbone into a slot. Spread out the defense a little bit. 12 men on the field against Vineland. Yep. Hold on. From their own 35-yard line. First and 5 for the Atlantic City Vikings. Handoff right up the gut. It's going to be close to a first down. I don't know if they have it. Our technical crew tonight here at Gatto Memorial Field. Matt Minguella, Ryan Gavity, and Chris Gottardi. They join Brian Anthony, Mickey Brandt, and John Sabrana, the supervisor of the whole Channel 13. We appreciate their efforts. We don't appreciate your efforts quite as much tonight as we did last week in that rainstorm, rain and wind. But we like the job you're doing anyway. Keep up the good work.
Give him a lot of credit for being down there.
2nd down and a yard to go.
Oh.
Rob Reynolds is going to be tripped up and dropped for a sack. And there's Mark Thompson on the sack. What a great job. Mark was just hungry. Look at him. Look at him. He has him in his sights. Boom. Down he goes. If you guys get a chance, do a close-up of Mark Thompson's jersey, his front of his jersey and his pants. There's a player. Look at that, number 50.
Mark did a good job on that. Took the right angle.
50. You got a good shot of him there. Mark Thompson, number 50. He's got a dirty uniform, and that's what we like to see. Rob Thompson drops back. There's a penalty flag down. Another sack by the Vineland defense. This time it's Aaron Silver leading the way, number 51.
Number 51, Aaron Silver, makes the quarterback sack.
Boy, this goes against everything Coach Weiss coaches.
Do you detect a little momentum swing, John?
Yeah, let's go back up here where it was 2nd and 1. Really surprised me. You get the first, you keep the drive, they don't get the ball. Now Vineland's going to get the ball back.
Vineland calls a timeout. There's 35 seconds to play here in the first half. Vineland trails Atlantic City 7-6.
In high school girls soccer action today, the Fighting Clan of Vineland defeats the Vineland Mustangs 3-1. Scoring goals for Vineland was Nina Montera.
A lot of time left on that clock to burn one here.
Again, the girls.
Congratulations to the girls' varsity soccer team beating Mainland today, 3-1.
Is that the girls or the boys?
The girls.
Or was it girls? They didn't say the boys score.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh. 4th down and looks like about 16 yards or so after those sacks. John Walsh back to punt from his own 10-yard line. Uh-oh, he drops the snap. Gets it off in a hurry, though. Does a good job under pressure.
Oh.
Takes an Atlantic City roll. Tell you, that ends up being a pretty good punt.
Yeah.
Vineland will have it with 20 seconds left from their own 35.
20.4 seconds remaining in half.
Well, we asked Jason Karras to come over at halftime. I don't know if he will get a chance. Talk to us a minute. Jason, the sports editor of the Daily Journal. There you see the story. 20.4 seconds to go here in the half, and 7-6 is the score in favor of Atlantic City. This is the home opener for Vineland's Fighting Clan. They won the opener of the season last week at Lower Cape May, 31-0. Looks like they're going for all the marbles here. Alex Castillo heaves it downfield, and it's going to be picked off.
Yeah.
He's just not sharp tonight.
No, you got to run some patterns, Keith. It looks like everybody's just flying. You got to run a couple outs. And
Joel Mejia intercepted that one, number 1 for Atlantic City. 11.5 seconds left.
I'd be very surprised if he does anything drastic on this one.
Mejia split to the far side. Oh, there's Jaquan Brown jumping off sides 5 yards in favor of Atlantic City right off the bat.
Offside to Vineland. Your 5-yard penalty. First and 5. Defensive correction. 5-yard penalty.
There's got to be something going on up front. Somebody must be calling signals or saying something. What's the matter now?
The ball wasn't in the right spot.
Oh.
They had to move it 4 inches more.
Yep. Well,
That makes a big difference with 11.5 seconds left. 1st and 5 to go for Atlantic City.
well, he's going to throw it, Keith.
It's incomplete. He skipped the ball to him, but I'll tell you, that ball was almost behind the line of scrimmage.
I think they said it was a lateral.
And there's still 8 seconds left. 8.3 timeout called by Atlantic City. So they're not going to throw in the towel yet, John. Calling it, well, they can use all the timeouts you want.
Coach Weiss, he's
Coach Weiss is out there himself.
He's got a little gunslinger in him the last 2 drives.
I think it's no secret he applied for the Vineland job some years ago.
Yes, he did. Along with about 22 other jobs in New Jersey. So, and he stayed in Atlantic City.
He's had a successful program down there.
Yes, he has.
What was it, 99? I think they won it all.
I think he came out of Phillipsburg. When he came down. Yeah. As a young coach, there were 2 places I always wanted to coach, Keith. One was Atlantic City in football, one was Wildwood in basketball. And I always thought Atlantic City had good athletes. You know, John Boyd was the coach when we were young, and then it come George King, and they had that one-year hotshot from Kentucky. He came up, and but they've always had a program that's been competitive.
Rob Reynolds back to pass. And that one drops incomplete. I think it was intended for Joel Mejia, who's in the vicinity of that pass.
Boy,
but there were a lot of red shirts, too.
He had a little mustard on that one. He threw it by everybody. Oh, coach called another timeout.
Castillo on the sideline being consoled by Coach Vinny Terenik, who himself was a former quarterback for Vineland. Some words of encouragement or consolation as this half is dwindling down. 2.8 seconds now as Coach Bobby Weiss again meets with his team on the far sideline.
It went from a pretty quick first quarter to a pretty slow first half. Hasn't Keith come?
You're not kidding.
It's come down to, well, we had a couple injuries that took a long time, which, hey, take all the time you want on those for the kids. And, well, we've had, what, 2, 3, 4 timeouts in the last, what, 2 minutes? Okay, Coach.
Joel Mejia splits to the far side. Trips out there, actually.
Yeah. Matt, get in the
Coley,
passing lane.
number 7.
Matt should get right up in the passing lane.
There's a good job. There's a good job. Christian Guadalupe, number 54.
Yeah. That should be the half, Keith. That should be the half.
And that is halftime. 7-6 is the score in favor of Atlantic City. Vineland and the Vikings will go back into the locker room and regroup. Get a drink. Let me recap the scoring for you here at this first half mark. In the first quarter with 4:28 to play, it was Alfonso Johnson intercepting Alex Castillo's pass, taking it into pay dirt. Walsh's kick was good. That was 7-0. The second quarter with 2:15 to play, Jamar Bird took a 60-yard run into pay dirt, and Ross Romano missed the extra point, and that's where we stand at 7-6 here at halftime. John, you were talking about some coaches, and I thought I'd point out that we have some new coaches in the Cape Atlantic League this year. Absegami has Doug Coleman, who replaced John Murray. Holy Spirit has Bill Walsh, who took over for Chris Bell, but I understand Chris Bell is still on the staff as an assistant.
Yeah, he's an assistant. Chris is a super guy. He went from he did some reverse things in college. He was a quarterback in high school, pretty good one, and then started center at the University of Cincinnati.
Wow, that's a change.
Yeah.
Pleasantville has William Birch, who replaced Donald Barnes. St. Augustine Prep has Steve Capuccio this year, who took over for Keith Hoover.
Steve, if you remember, Keith, I don't know, he was on, I think, the very first team that St. Augustine had when they started football.
How about
so
that?
he's come back.
Additionally, Cumberland Regional now has Rod Sharpless replacing Doug Volivar. And Wildwood, and there's a program. I mean, they used to be in the Cape Atlantic. Now they're out of the Cape Atlantic. Then they weren't going to have football. Then they are going to have football. They had a forfeit loss last week because they didn't give a commitment. So now they have Bob Koenig, who replaces Ryan Troiano, who used to be the coach there. But also some big names in South Jersey football coaching have changed allegiances this season. You'll know these names. Tom Maderia, who used to be at Holy Cross, is now at Burlington Township.
Yep.
Little bit of a rift there, where they really didn't want him. He got into a match. He submitted his resignation. Then he said, "I don't mean it," and they said, "Too bad."
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
He put Holy Cross on the map. He
did.
Who's the great baseball player? Okay.
Also, I'm sorry, you were talking about Tom Maderia?
Yeah, he had some really big-time players there. He had Greg Lazinski's son play for him there.
Yeah.
Really did a good job. And in fact, he went to that shotgun offense. And Holy Cross was scoring like 50 points a game.
And Ty Belford, who's now at Palmyra.
Ty Belford, he coach of the year, retired from Williamsboro, said he was never going to coach again. He's the golf coach. Isn't that amazing, Keith?
You guys just never go away.
Yeah. And Ty couldn't stay out of it.
And here's a blast from the past. Jim Gallagher now set up camp at Sterling.
Jimmy, he left Holy Spirit, and he went up.
He was up that way somewhere. Start the second half of action. Vineland trailing the Atlantic City Vikings by a 7-6 score. Just a word down to the truck. Can you guys turn down the field mic a little bit? It's really blasting out my eardrums. Our crew here tonight, besides John Parentazzi and myself, I'm Keith Petrosky. Up here in the broadcast booth, we have Matt Minguella, Ryan Gavigan, and Chris Guttardi, all on cameras, Brian Anthony and Mickey Brandt, and John Sabrana, the supervisor of our VPS TV Channel 13 crew. We're proud to bring you Vineland High School Fighting Clan football. The Clan is trailing, as I said, by a 7-6 score, but we have a whole half of football to play, John, and you can be sure that things are going to be hopping here.
Oh, I don't think this game is decided by a long shot. We just have a. I think we had some spark in the last 3-4 minutes. I think the things we're going to do. Again, the coaching staff will probably make some adjustments to our passing game. Defensively, we've done a good job. We've done a good job. Atlantic City had some first downs, but they really never threatened, Keith. They scored on the interception?
Right.
So they really never threatened.
No. Okay, we'll see what kind of strategies come out and manifest themselves on the field. Just one more word down there to the truck. Can you guys turn down the crowd mic a little bit, please? Ross Romano is teeing up the football to kick off to begin the second half.
Number 83, Ross Romano. Back deep to receive for Atlantic City. Number 22, Alfonso Johnson. And number 1,
Alfonso Johnson and Joel Mejia back deep for the Vikings. They'll be standing at their own 15-yard line. Ross Romano having a little conversation with the official there at the 40-yard line, squeezing that football, as you can see. Romano is no midget. He's 6'5", 230 pounds, and he's only a junior.
He's come a long way, Keith, in that not only is he a kicker, which are a strange breed of cat in football, but he's come a long way. He's playing tight end.
Tight end.
Plays a little defense. He plays some defense down in K-May. Good kick.
He has good kickoffs. It's picked up at the 13-yard line by Alfonso Johnson, and Johnson is racked up by Walter Brown across the 25-yard line.
Kid that made the play there was Morgan again. He took the wedge on, took everybody out of the picture, and Walt Brown came in, made the tackle.
Hate to be repetitive, but you guys in the truck have to turn down the crowd microphone. It's blasting out our eardrums, please. First and 10 for the Atlantic City Vikings out of the wishbone. The pitch goes to Johnson. Johnson stumbles his way forward for a good pickup to begin the second half of play.
Nice job by the defense.
Second down and 4 yards to go.
They hit him early, Keith, knock him off his wheels. We're still in our 5-2. We got our linebackers tight.
Rob Reynolds under center. Handoff goes to John Walsh, who gets across. I think he got the first down, John.
Look at this spot, Keith. Look at where this guy's coming in.
Still blasting out our eardrums.
Holy Toledo.
They're going to have a measurement.
What do you think, Keith? I don't think he made it.
I don't know. With the spot, I don't think he made it. When he first came down, I thought he did. Oh, they're going to give it to him without a measurement. We're in the third quarter, 10 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here in the third, and it's 7-6, Atlantic City with the lead.
Very important stand here for our defense. You want to show them right away that you can handle them. In our 5-2 again. Oh, nice job.
Goes to.
Oh.
That's
what a shot again by Morgan. What it.
Okay. I can hear myself think now. Maybe we need a little bit more crowd noise, but not as much as we had. You guys could bring it up a pinch. Second down and 9 yards to go for the Atlantic City Vikings. Rob Reynolds under center. Wishbone formation behind him.
We show blitz. He's coming.
Fake the handoff. Now play action pass. Thrown down and intended for Joel Mejia. Jason mentioned when we were off camera that Joel Mejia is an outstanding baseball player. Probably
first round draft. Yeah, that's what he said. Isn't that great to see a great athlete playing a couple sports? I really enjoy that.
Over on the Vineland side, you have some pretty good baseball players too. And
Alex. Alex, good baseball
Alex
player.
Castillo.
Yeah.
Also, you have Darren Ford is a great baseball player.
Yeah.
Did a pretty good job last season.
Matt Moore, I think.
Matt Moore, another baseball player. Third down, 9 yards to go now for the Vikes.
Big play here, Keith.
Again on a pass attempt.
Oh, good screen.
Little screen pass.
Oh, he went the wrong way.
Look at that defense. A swarming defense. Christian Guadalupe, number 54, loves it. Matt Moore, number 4, loves it. And so does Jonathan Rosseltov.
Yeah.
All of them right there, and along with Mark Thompson. That was a team effort, too.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good setup. I don't know what happened to the young man running the ball. He turned around, went the other way, ran right into everybody. Look, this is our chance to show some speed again.
Fourth down.
I like any chance our specialty teams have, Keith.
Yeah. Well, we've seen some exciting ones so far. John Walsh back to punt from his own. By the time he gets it off, it'll be around the 20-yard line.
Good snap.
It's going to be a low one.
Oh, pick it up. Pick it up.
Up by
That's
Darren
it.
Ford.
That's it.
At the 38.
Okay.
Going backwards. Get loose. Get loose. Finally breaks to the sideline. The crowd is on their feet. He cuts it back across the middle. Oh, there's a penalty flag. Yeah. It's going to be a clip or something. And
I don't know.
Darren Ford will go all the way, but it's going to be called back. It's a shame because it was about 3/4 of the way down. What an exciting runner is Darren Ford.
Oh.
There's another Atlantic City player down. I think it's the humidity and the heat, John.
No, he just took a great block.
Oh, did he?
Oh, jeez.
All the way back there.
Oh, if you could see that instant replay.
The Vineland players egging on the fans. Give some Philadelphia-style boos out there to the officiating.
You got to see that. If they could show Ford get into the sideline. I don't know if John has the instant replay. What a super block at that point of attack.
Did you see who committed the clip?
No.
It happened right over here, I think.
No,
on the bench.
I did not see
the flag
that.
was thrown. It's a shame, though. It negates that run back.
Boy, are we exciting on specialty teams, Keith? What?
I love it.
Oh.
In last year's game, Vineland turned the ball over 3 times in the first half. They allowed a punt return for a touchdown and blocked the Vineland punt that resulted in yet another Viking score in that loss last year.
I don't know if John can play. John, do we have that instant replay?
Apparently not.
Yeah. Because we got some time here. Oh, the young man's up. I don't know who threw that block, but it was sensational. It threw it perfect. Threw it high, knocked him down.
Sean Byrne is the sophomore center, and he's the injured player that's being walked off under his own power. Highly regarded, even though he's only a sophomore. A lot of press, a lot of ink he got in the newspapers in the preseason recaps of the Atlantic City Vikings.
Yeah.
8 minutes and 43 seconds left here in the third quarter. Atlantic City still clinging to that 7-6 lead. It's just, I'm just so enthusiastic about Vineland's offense. And the defense is doing a good job too, but you know, the offense is just so powerful with Darren Ford and Jamar Bird and Marcus Lee, Alex Castillo, Walter Brown. They're doing just a great job. So a hand off to Brown, and Brown fires his way forward, still on his feet.
Oh,
and he's
good
going to
block.
try to make it up for it. And
Good
he's going
block.
to go all the way.
Good block by
Look at that,
Alice
Walter
Castillo.
Brown. From the 40-yard line, a 60-yard
block.
touchdown run by Walter Brown. And no penalty flags that time.
Good block by Alice Castillo. He followed him after handing it off. It took him all the way down and threw the final block to spring him. Good job.
That comes at 8 minutes and 28 seconds here in the third quarter.
It's an important point, Keith.
You hear the crowd chanting Vineland, Vineland. That's just great. I mean, there's a good crowd here tonight. Vineland is certainly in this ball game now with a lead at 12-7.
Oh, they're going for 2, Keith.
Going for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Marcus Lee split to the far side. The wingback is Darren Ford. In motion goes Ford. Castillo rolls to the right side.
Oh, they got him.
He's going to be
Oh,
dropped.
they got him.
No good on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So Vineland will have a 5-point lead at 7-12. But we still have a lot of football to play. Some local scores from last weekend. Vineland, of course, beat Lower Cape May 31-0. Atlantic City over East Orange, which we said earlier in the broadcast, 17-8. Oakcrest beat Hamilton. How about that one, John? 19-16.
That's a shocker.
And, Hamilton was the conference champion last year. And Egg Harbor Township over William Penn of Delaware, 27-11.
Sleeper. I think they're the sleeper of the league, Egg Harbor. They're well coached, got good athletes.
And Millville, 7-0 over Buna.
Yeah, Coach Heck out off the winning season.
The Vineland players want the fans to get excited, and they are. Ross Romano is going to tee up the football again. Alfonso Johnson in his back along with Joel Mejia. Well, John, ever since sort of midway through the second quarter, I think the momentum has been swinging toward the Vineland side.
And you know what took over? Speed.
Speed, exactly right. Alfonso Johnson picks it up at the 18-yard line. Looks for a return here. Vineland's defense starting to converge. He breaks through a couple of tackles. Still on his feet is Johnson across midfield. And look at that, he's still on his feet. He might go
Oh,
Well,
good tackle.
Good tackle there. Get that number, John. We have to give him credit for stopping that run back. He gets inside the 15-yard line. A special team breakdown is not what Coach Belfi and his staff wanted at this point. Back here at the 35-yard line,
It's Guadalupe.
is Christian Guadalupe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's might be a cramp. They're massaging his left calf.
Yeah. Wow. That was a Chinese fire drill, Keith, from one end to the other. That
was scary.
There were a lot of bodies staying with the play all the way. Who made that tackle?
He didn't seem to have breakaway
No.
speed.
Somebody made a good tackle, stayed with it. I don't know who it was. That was a pretty good effort. Keith, is that ball outside the 10 or inside the 10?
The ball is between, yeah, it's inside the 10.
So
like.
can't get a first, right?
No.
They got to score.
Oh, no, the ball is inside the 15.
Oh, okay.
It's on this side of the 10. They can still get a first down.
Okay.
Looks like on the, I'd call it the 13, 14-yard line. 14-yard line, call it. There you see Christian Guadalupe being attended to. Well, you saw him there a second ago. This week's schedule has Absegami at Egg Harbor Township, and that's being played on Friday night at 7. Buna at Hamilton, Friday night at 7. Boy, after last week's loss to Millville, Buna is going to be hungry, and Hamilton will be seeking some revenge as well.
Oh, absolutely.
After their loss to Oakcrest. St. Joseph at Lower Cape May is Saturday at noon. Mainland at Millville, Saturday at 6 o'clock an evening kickoff. Ocean City at Oakcrest, Saturday at 7 p.m. Richton at St. Augustine Prep, Saturday at noon. And Holy Spirit at Middle Township, Monday at 6 o'clock in the evening. A lot of those rescheduled games due to Hurricane Isabel. Next week, Vineland will be right back here at Gateau Memorial Field for a rematch against South Plainfield. Now, you might recall that South Plainfield was the game last year that broke the streak, the bad streak. 17-game losing streak Vineland had accumulated was snapped last year at South Plainfield. This year, South Plainfield comes here to Vineland for a 7 o'clock kickoff on Friday, September 26th. So mark your calendar and come out here to the stadium, because it's, I think you'll be impressed with what's been done here with the lights and the condition of everything that's going on. Christian Guadalupe still being attended to there. That's Coach Dale Jones, Coach Rich Scarpa.
Last year, what impressed me about the Plainfield game was the fact that they were undefeated when we went into Plainfield. And they took that early lead. And boy, it was like an avalanche after that. Kids did a good job coming back. And
South Plainfield will have had 2 games under their belt as well by the time they get here. In the first game, they played a team called Northern Lebanon from Pennsylvania. And in their game this weekend, supposed to be going on tonight, they're playing at home and hosting JFK of Island, New Jersey. Then on Friday, October 3rd, it's Oakcrest coming here to Gatone. So we have a 3-game homestand. 1st and 10 is the situation now, however, for the Vikings of Atlantic City as they trail Vineland by a score of 12-7. The handoff goes to Atlantic City, and nothing fancy, just right up the gut. And it's Coley on the carry, number 7.
Keith, remember our old double dive?
Yep.
That's what it was. He turns and fakes the fullback, spins around, hands it to the halfback. They both go off the 2-gap. And what did he get, 6 yards, Keith?
Good pickup, 6 yards, yeah. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Oh, this is not Coach
Reynolds
Weiss's
gets
football.
Some pressure.
Good job.
And he's brought down for a sack.
Joe Bassetti.
And I also see in there number 34, that's Anthony Robinson. Wait, John, I think a skunk got loose in the field here somewhere. Smell it?
No, I thought it was just home cooking. So, Keith, I didn't know.
Roadkill.
Yeah.
7 minutes
Well,
left to play here in the third quarter. 12-7, Vineland leads by 5. After that loss of yardage, it's 3rd and 7 now for the Vikings. Rob Reynolds turns around after the play action pass attempt.
Morgan.
It's knocked away by Jeffrey Morgan.
Good job by Morgan. Good job. Coach called timeout here. We got timeout Atlantic City. Keith, I was surprised.
Here you see the replay, John.
Yeah.
Watch Jeffrey Morgan come in there.
Knock
right there,
it down.
boom.
I am truly surprised that Bobby Weiss went away from his fundamental coaching. He gained 6 yards on the first, got 4 yards to go. Then he throws the ball twice. He never did that.
No.
He really didn't. He's fundamentally a very sound coach. You know, plays the percentages very well. And he's put his team in a hole now.
I could tell just by talking to him before a game every year. He must be a pretty good poker player, huh?
Well, I don't know about poker, but he, in the coaching ranks, really takes the art of crying to new levels. He, every year.
Yes.
Every year that he comes, he's always never has anything, never, you know, his kids are not in shape, they're not ready to play. And every year, he's very competitive. Vineland's in there 5-2. Their linebackers doesn't look like they're coming. Atlantic City's going to flood this side.
Reynolds looks to pass, but no, he's going to keep it himself. And he's going to be forced. Forced back. Jamar Bird in there.
Good job.
Jeffrey Morgan, number 26.
Yeah. Well done. Well, you just got to remember that.
Sure. Here we see it again, John. Watch the defense just come up and fill those holes, and right there, stop Rob Reynolds from getting anywhere. So Vineland gets the ball back on downs. They have their back against the wall a little bit here, but they'll take it.
Doesn't matter. You get some of that speed. That field's awful small. Awful short distance if you can get some of that speed.
From their own 14-yard line, the Fighting Clan is back in business. Marcus Lee split to the far side. The wing back is
quick
Jamar
pitch.
Bird.
Quick pitch. There it is.
Pitch
there
goes to Darren Ford.
There it is.
Ford has a couple seal blocks here. Gets around the corner, down the sideline, and he could be all the way. I'm looking on the field for drop flags. Nothing.
Oh.
And Darren Ford on an explosive run.
I'll tell you, there were 2 great blocks. Mr. Brown threw a great block at about the 50-yard line. What a super block. And Darren Ford, did he seal the corner?
Look at that. 86-yard touchdown run by Darren Ford.
Did he seal it? Darren Ford, what a great play. Guadalupe's back in the lineup, Keith, so I guess he's okay. We have a new kicker, Keith.
Well, we tried. Uh-oh, there's a penalty flag that's thrown in the end zone.
You got to be in the huddle. You got to be on the field when the play is ready to go. I think Atlantic City's got 12. No.
Vineland tried Ross Romano kicking the extra point. They tried the 2-point conversion, and that didn't work either.
Yeah.
And now they're going to Plan C.
Atlantic City had 12 men. They had 12 men. Well, they're going to go for 2. They changed their whole strategy. It's not bad. A yard and a half. Take a shot at 2.
Especially, I have a lot of confidence in this offense.
Yeah.
Doing a good job. The fans are cheering because there was some kind of a hum coming over the public address system. I thought it was in our headsets. I took off my headsets, and there it is. Uh-oh, there it is back again.
Ooh, full house backfield. This is something a little different.
Joe Bassetti over the football.
Tight full house.
And Alex Castillo, the quarterback, under center. Uh-oh, there's a jump by Atlantic City. I saw a couple of their big linemen jump into the neutral zone.
Keith, is it possible to get the 2 points on a penalty? I don't know. We're going to keep getting closer and closer. Getting closer and closer. That would be, put us what? Within a yard, I guess, Keith. Inside a yard.
It's in there. Not much distance from the football to the end zone.
Take it in, Alex.
Alex Castillo on the 2-point conversion.
Okay. All right. He did it with his leg.
So it's 20-7 now. As Vineland in the third quarter, their offense has seemed to come alive. A 60-yard touchdown run by Walter Brown early in the third at 8:28. And then around 2 minutes later, here we are with an 86-yard touchdown run by Darren Ford, bringing the score 20-7 in favor of the red and gray of Vineland. Cheerleaders have something to cheer about tonight, and so do the fans. Healthy crowd here at Gateau Memorial Field.
Boy, this is a long quarter, Keith, isn't
There
it?
you see the crowd. Some of the crowd. There are a lot more on either side. Yeah, it is a long quarter, John. Not too many fans here from Atlantic City.
No. Speed has paid off tonight, Keith, again. You just got to keep pounding. You go with what you have best.
So Ross Romano has the ball teed up again at the 40, back deep. Alfonso Johnson, number 22, and number 1, Joel Mejia. 6:18 left to play here in the third quarter. And it's 20-7 in favor of Vineland.
Good job.
Mejia picks it up and drops it, then picks it up again. And here comes the defenders on the special team.
Boy.
And they're going to bury him right at the 22.
Morgan again. Morgan has been unbelievable tonight on defense. Specialty teams, defense.
I'd like to get some of those special teams guys. I see Steve Leake running off the field, number 31. There I see number 42 in on the action on that replay, Michael Ballard. 1st and 10 for the Vikings of Atlantic City. Mejia split to the far side. Walsh and Coley in the backfield.
50, still playing our side 52.
1st and 10. The ball at Atlantic City's 22.
This is unbelievable. Atlantic City just doesn't do this, Keith.
And there goes Jonathan Rosseltov with a big sack back to the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
His forward motion, of course, will bring it up to the 15, but that's beside the point. It's just to see these players, Jonathan Rosseltov joining the host of others who've been in there on some great plays, defensively and offensively.
Nice
We're going to see a replay here. Oh, where is it?
Just a solid.
Watch him. He just goes in. Oh, cut it short.
Just the front five has put a lot of pressure.
There you see the end of it. He was happy about that.
They've moved Rosseltov to tackle, Keith.
2nd and 16 coming up now for Vikings. Reynolds runs for his life up the middle.
Nice
and
job.
He's going to be pulled down by Jeffrey Morgan.
Boy, he's done a good job on defense, Keith. Both linebackers. I think Guadalupe's back in there, too, isn't he? Yeah.
Yep.
Two good linebackers.
Yep. Great job.
Play the field well. Can tackle, which you need out of your linebackers. The front five again. From Medio to Thompson to Bassetti to Brown. They've really done a good job.
And we don't say their names enough. I know that.
Yeah.
They do a good job out there. Rob Reynolds sets up, throws the ball downfield, and it's caught. First down for Atlantic City. Look at that. He drags 3 or 4 defenders with him. That was Coley on the carry, or on the reception.
Yeah. Mark Thompson's getting a breather, Keith. This is where we got to give these kids a breather. You need them for the fourth quarter. Lydell Harris is in now. I think the biggest play of the game, Keith, was when it was 2nd and 4 down on our goal line. And they didn't get.
1st and 10, the handoff goes to number 20 for the Vikings, and that is Giavo. Some different players getting in. Bobby Weiss tries to find a connection, combination that works. Another Vineland player down. I think that's Joe Bassetti, number 55. It is. Well, John, how about your Phillies? Came a little closer, made a little inroads there against Florida.
Was it Thursday afternoon they played the afternoon game?
Yeah.
I don't know who I was madder, that the Phillies or Isabella, when they fell behind the Phillies. But
they came back, though.
What an acquisition that Tome is, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure glad he's out of the American League.
Holy hell, did you see that one side? I was watching a baseball game, and I think it was in Detroit, and there were a lot of, they were playing Cleveland. There were a lot of Cleveland fans. They had signs up, "We want him back." I thought that was pretty neat. We got a lot of time right now. We've had a lot of young men go down tonight, and I'm not sure if it's just
the heat,
humidity.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Some of them came back to play. So I don't really see any serious injuries.
See, after Friday, October 3rd, when Vineland plays Oakcrest here, then Vineland goes back on the road again. Friday, October 10th, it's at Absegami. Then on Saturday, October 18th, at Ocean City. Friday, October 24th, Egg Harbor Township comes here to Gatone. The open date is October 31st, and then at Mainland on November 7th. And the state game will be on November 14th or 15th. And the handoff goes to Coley again.
Yeah.
And then they wrap up the season, or maybe not wrap up the season, see how things go on Thursday, November 27th at Millville, 10:30 in the morning. Kickoff for that one on Turkey Day.
So about the 43-yard line will be 3rd. And about 3 yards.
Well, I don't know what Atlantic City's. They got 2 cracks at 3 yards. Now you never know what after what Coach Weiss did down on the goal line. I don't know what he's going to do here.
It's getting to the point where they're going to have to panic pretty soon. 3rd and 2. Handoff goes to Coley, and Coley is stopped. I think short of the first down. He tried to stretch out his arms to get the ball out there. I don't know if he did it in time.
It's close, Keith. I don't think he made it.
Yeah, they marked the ball back a little bit.
They're going for it, though.
4th down and inches.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got no choice.
No, they really don't.
No choice in here. I would be surprised. So we'll send both linebackers like we've done all night. Here they come. I don't think he made it.
I don't think he got it. We'll see.
Oh, this guy on the side, first of all, this referee, he has no clue what game he's in, so I don't think they made it. He has. Not even close, Keith. I don't know what it.
Vineland first down.
I didn't think so.
Vineland first down. Defense really came through on that one, as they have tonight. When you consider, last week a shutout, 31-0. This week, virtually a shutout. I mean, the only points they have are the result, Atlantic City I'm talking about, are the result of an interception.
Right. Defense has played well.
They have. Alex Castillo pitches the ball. Goes into the hands of Jamar Bird, and he's tripped up across the 45-yard line.
That's okay.
There you see the time is ticking off the third quarter, 1:52, and it's 20 for Vineland and 7 for Atlantic City. We think the last time Vineland beat Atlantic City was back in '97, 6-0 down there.
Yeah, that was yeah. Might have been, and by the way, somebody was wrong in the paper. That was the last shutout too. They didn't mention that before last week. I remember that down there. We did a great job down there on that one. They're going to pitch it. They're going to pitch it to the right.
Second down and a long 5.
Oh.
The handoff goes to Bird again.
Oh.
Bird dances his way through. He gets up to the 50-yard line.
That surprised me, that formation. They came back to the short side, Keith. They had a lot of running room out to the wide side.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah. Big down.
See, this kind of play, though, they can get that 2 yards.
Oh, absolutely. This is the second biggest play of the night for Atlantic City. If they stop them here, they got a chance. I thought the turnaround the game, Keith, when they were down there with 2nd and 4, and we stopped them down on that goal line.
Third and 2 coming up for the Fighting Clan on this play. A big one for the Red and Gray of Vineland.
Brown. No,
Alex Castillo on the quarterback keeper. Good job there on that option.
Well done. Good fake.
Castillo last year threw for 1,058 yards and 10 touchdowns. And we're going to see Alex Castillo take this one on the ground.
Yeah, that's a
Here
big
it is.
play. That's going to end the quarter, Keith.
Good job by Alex Castillo.
Yeah, that's going to end the quarter. I don't think we'll get a playoff.
No, Vineland in no rush to get it off.
I don't know if we have to. I didn't see when they started the clock.
Well,
oh, what a slant here, huh?
8 seconds.
Look at this.
Here they
Look
go
at
in
it.
motion. And off to Brown.
Good job.
That's the end of the third quarter, 20-7. And the players are asking for the fan support here in the fourth quarter. Boy, what an improvement, John. You look over the last several seasons. In scoring during the 2002 season, Vineland scored 162 points, averaging 16.2, but they allowed 223 points. The year before that, 359 points were allowed.
Oh, that's the biggest surprise to me. Not the ability to score, I think, but the ability to stop the other team.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has really come. You want to say 360 degrees? I don't care. We're all the way. They have really done a good job. And 2 things have improved on the defense that I really like. I like the tackling.
Oh, yeah, it's excellent.
The tackling is
Good form, wrapping up tackling.
right. And on the defense, I like the fact that we got great pursuit. Nobody quits on the defense. And that's the secret of good defense.
I look forward to the game or the season when we don't start talking about this stuff. But last year Vineland was 4 wins and 6 losses.
Well, we don't have to mention that.
It equaled the best record Vineland attained in the last 11 years. Last time Vineland had a winning season was a dozen years ago, in 1991, under Ron DeRucci.
Oh,
Timeout for the Fighting Clan.
little mess up in the
You know, we have to get up here one of these days, Mr. Bassetti, to talk a little bit about the Red and Gray Gridiron
absolutely.
Club. We always give them a few words of wisdom, talk about their events that are going on, and get them up here and talk a little bit about it.
do a
Because
good
I'm sure
job.
they have some events coming up.
They're probably one of the first booster clubs, I guess you want to call them, that is strictly one sport. And that's been a God, I don't know how long. I guess the last time I remember we had one booster club was Coach Chapman was there. We had We used to show the film Monday night to the movie club, and they do a good job.
What was that? Was that a sound effect or what?
Like
On just a slant pattern
Not
intended
bad.
for
That's
Marcus
okay.
Lee.
That was
Yeah,
different.
Well, it's a low-risk play because he threw it low.
Yeah. I think Marcus pulled up in his route, too, a little bit. He did. Now you got to sell out that crossing pattern. You got to sell it out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was something a little different. We haven't seen that. So that's good. Okay. Don't be adverse to trying it again because you know what? Lake City, they're playing a one-on-one on out there. They're not afraid of them.
3rd and 7 is the situation. Alex Castillo
The quick
pitches
pitch.
it over to Bird.
Oh, made a bad decision.
Oh,
bad decision there, Keith.
Bird is going to be brought down by
Yeah.
Hathaway, number 45.
Made a little bad decision there. You don't, on that quick pitch, when you get a chance to turn it up, you got to turn it up. And he's excellent at it. It's not that he's bad at it, but you got to make that decision. Looks like coach is going for it.
4th and 9 is the situation. The ball is at the Atlantic City 44.
Ooh, it's pretty good. I don't know about that. Would you kick, Keith? I don't know.
I would. I would because they haven't been doing anything offensively lately, but I want to put him back there. Alex Castillo airs it out.
Oh, that's 6.
It's not 6, but it's a first down.
Yeah.
And that goes to show you why we're not coaches down there. Marcus Lee made a great reception at the 15-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Fighting Clan. The crowd reaction is astonishing tonight. They're really into the ball game.
That was a pretty good play there. They've tried that all night. And I think that put the knife right in the heart right there. I think that Atlantic City thought they had him stopped.
You know what that showed? That showed a little swagger of confidence right there.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, we think our offense is better than your defense, and we're going to prove it.
Watch this counter. There it is. There it is.
Walter Brown on the carry.
Yeah.
Carey trying to cut back. Oh, the ball popped loose. Joe Bassetti recovered the fumble. Good job for the center.
And gained a couple yards.
Gained a couple yards to boot.
Yeah.
That's not hard to take.
No.
That's probably a center's dream to score, isn't it?
That's why I'm going to talk to Aaron Silver. He should have picked that ball up and ran it in.
The nose of the football at the 10-yard line. It's 10 minutes left to play here in this ball game, and it's 20-7.
Yeah.
The score in favor of the Fighting Clan.
I think we've taken the air out of Atlantic City, especially if we can score. Quick pitch, there it is.
Pitch goes to Bird.
Come on,
Bird
cut
has
it
some
up.
blockers.
That's
but he runs into
okay.
some traffic there.
See, there he cut it up, Keith. It was perfect. He got positive yards out of it.
That'll bring up a 3rd down.
The last time he tried to stretch it out, and they sent him way back.
3rd down and 2 yards to go for a first. And 7 yards to go for a touchdown.
I would not be surprised to see Mr. Brown up the middle.
You know, John, it's funny. Some of the touchdowns we've seen so far this year for Vineland, they've come from 60 yards, 83 yards, 86 yards. The short ones are the tough ones to get.
That's 6.
Marcus Lee, the defender fell down. Mejia fell down. Marcus Lee got the touchdown. 7-yard touchdown pass from Alex Castillo to Lee.
Yep. Yeah, Mejia, is that how you say, Keith? He's down again. I don't know if he's got cramps. This is the second time he's been down. Good play. Again, Marcus has probably got 7, 8 inches on the young man, and they're going to give him a chance to go up and get it.
That could have been the reason for his falling down, a cramp perhaps.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you stretch your body like that, trying to catch a football or defend against one, you incur those terrible Charlie horse cramps.
Did you ever get him in bed, Keith? You can't. Oh, man, they're brutal.
Did you learn your lesson not to stretch your leg out? And they say the thing you have to do is to pull your toes back and massage it. Oh, boy.
I just scream. Forget the other stuff. Good job tonight by the Vineland offense. I'll tell you, they played a great second half.
I just love it's fun to watch them.
Yep. They can strike from anywhere.
We're not used to having so much fun the last few years.
I like the fact that they can strike from everywhere. And again, I want to give credit to the offensive line and the defensive line.
Yes. Both lines do a great job.
They have harassed the Atlantic City quarterback, the front five, and if you turn around the front five, they're the front five on offense also. Bassetti starting to center, Brown, Silver, Medio, Thompson. Really a good job. All 5 of the young men. And it's really neat to see an offensive line work.
Going to try an extra point kick again. Steve Bond is the kicker. The holder, Alex Castillo. The ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is good. And Bond gets a nice applause from the fans. 27-7. We have 9 minutes to play. So still plenty of time to get another score in.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Coach Belfi starts to play some of the youngsters like he did last week. Or wouldn't you do that at this point?
Oh, yeah. You could give it's called distance control. On this kickoff, if you put Atlantic City deep in their territory, you got like 30 or 40 yards to play with, Keith. You can put the subs in. And if they go 30 or 40 yards, you put the first team back.
Right.
It's just a matter of, that you want to be able to control your own situation.
Let's see.
Crowd is not going away, Keith. They're hanging in there.
Kevin Ford. Number 31 is Steve Leake. Number 20, John Winchester. Number 22 is Robert Loatman.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Matt Moore.
The safeties
number 51, Aaron Silver.
The safeties are Bird and Moore. Watch them; they'll circle the wagons.
25, Pete Caccaro.
Pretty good. Couple of pretty good safeties on the kickoff. Matt Moore and
Justin Ford, number 1.
Bird.
Number 3 is Bird. And once again, Ross Romano, the kicker. He's getting a workout today with his kicking.
Yeah. I'll tell you, he's had some pretty good boots on the
yes,
kickoff.
He
He's getting them down to the 10,
well, how about
inside the
last
10.
week when he got that one through the end zone?
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. The kick goes into the hands of number 16.
13.
That's Stowe, Brahim Stowe. Good run back for Stowe.
Yeah.
Well, John, I don't want to put too much emphasis on it because it's a young season yet, but this is a good step for Vineland to be able to defeat Atlantic City. One of the teams that have been their nemesis for the past 5 years.
Keith, I'm going to send you on an assignment this week. This is your job now.
All right, what's my assignment?
Find out what the last team to start 2-0 was. Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh, Matt Moore. What? Oh, see, you don't do them things.
That's one thing they're going to have to learn is to stay calm. Stay calm.
Yeah, why do that? The play's over. Don't mean anything tonight.
No. Those personal fouls are things that we just have to get rid of.
Yep.
No excuse for them.
That's 2 in 2 games. Not by Matt, but That's the second personal foul
Yeah.
we've had. And you just don't want that. You just.
Personal foul.
And look at that gain that they get from a maneuver like that. From the 48-yard line of Vineland now, Atlantic City has it 1st and 10.
Yeah.
Reynolds spins out the other way.
Oh, nice.
Sets up the pass, and it's going to drop incomplete. Pass intended for Coley. He was the closest one. They did have a couple layers there. The other guy was Alfonso Johnson, the deeper man in that same pattern.
Nice job. I like that. The secondary stayed home. That's a good sign. He rolled to the right, came back to the left, and the secondary really held their ground. He had to throw over the undercoverage, which really stayed home. We're back.
2nd and 10 from the Vineland 48. Rob Reynolds airs that one out, and it falls incomplete, thrown out of bounds.
Boy, Aaron Silver really had a good route to the quarterback, and as he let it go, he really unloaded on him. Tell you what, again, that front five doing a great job.
They are. They have been all game.
Yeah. And if you look, it's the same. You know, Aaron is in there, Silver, Bassetti, Mark Thompson. The only ones that are in there is Robinson.